Have you seen my staff? I have misplaced it, and I heard Jared might know of its whereabouts.
Bob Iger.
He's gone.
Gone?
For good.
And now,
Josh tomorrow.
CEO.
The new CEO.
Josh tomorrow?
Yes.
It's real.
He's in charge.
Everything changes.
Step through the portal. The new LEGO Epic Universe set brings the park's dramatic entrance to life in miniature, complete with a glowing celestial gateway, sleek coaster track, sparkling fountain.
Good evening. A downtown crash involving a touring mime troupe has left several performers injured and investigators searching for answers. Police say the mimes aren't giving any. Officers tell us the troupe.
This Universal Studios Florida, where you don't just watch the movies, you ride them. Hold on tight for high-speed thrills, plunge into blockbuster adventures, and take center stage in heart-pounding action.
Universal Studios.
Meet ChurroBot, the little helper designed to fetch fresh, warm churros while you enjoy the rides. With its friendly eyes and heated delivery compartment, it rolls up to the stand, picks up your order, and brings it right back to you. One more.
Hopefully everyone is ready for a great live stream that's almost as great as my paintings. We'll just make a few more happy little clouds together.
Yo! Move! Back up! Oh my God! It's hitting the monorail!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully everybody's having a nice Friday. We've actually been doing live streams on Fridays lately, it seems, which I'm not against. I don't know. Listen, once you get into your 40s, you're just like, what's a Friday night compared to a Tuesday night? It's like
exactly
right.
I don't know.
We in the theme parking club.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a lot of plans necessarily. So I will say in the past, and I don't know if you guys have had this issue, in the past 3 weeks, I have had 3 cameras go out. I had to get all new cameras for the studio because one by one they kept failing, and I don't know as to why, other than they're just cheap. But I think everything's working. I actually got the other one in today, and I tested it all. I think it all works. So hopefully these last longer than a couple of months. We'll shoot for that. But we do have a fun live stream. So basically, we're going to just talk about Universal Studios, Hollywood, Orlando. We got Mr. Theme Park Wizard here. He's got a bunch of information about things that may be coming, maybe some speculation, some rumor. I'm going to talk about some stuff I've heard. I think Wizard knows way more than I do. And OG, he's the vibes guy, and he's just going to be, he's going to chime in. He may have some sources. Who knows? They might be telling him stuff that we don't even know about. You never know with OG. But before we get into all that, just want to introduce the panel here. As usual, mini live streams around here. We got Mr. Orange Grove 55. Thank you for being here. And where can everybody find you if they're not aware of you already?
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jared. And Mr. Theme Park Wizard, always a good time with you fellows. Everyone in the chat, Kevin, Theme Park, and Dr. John, Brandon, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube talking theme parks, studio, even the corporate side of things right here on YouTube, Orange Grove 55. Also on Instagram, Orange Grove 55, and also on the dreaded X, Orange Grove 55.
I will say, Giant Pain Adventure said OG's hair moved a centimeter from the Sonic Boom.
I noticed it too. I didn't want to say anything, but
I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to. Like, I know he takes a lot of time, and I didn't want to.
I'm telling you. I mean, even the hair couldn't withstand it. It was just too much. It was too much. Yeah.
That's why I just shaved my head. It was just too much. I couldn't deal with the Sonic Booms around here. But and I don't know. Is this your first time on here, Wizard, on CTM? I think you were on another live stream one other time.
It was the one a long time ago. Back yonder in 2029, I was there.
2020. Well, it's time travel. We go back and forth. It's hard to know which
it's
timeline
Ethan
you're
from
in.
the future. Remember that show? What's that show on Disney Plus? Derek from the future. Our Life with Derek. But there was something like from the future. A good show. But that's me.
I can't say I ever watched that one, but I do like time travel. But happy to have Theme Park Wizard here. He has tons of information. We're going to have a good time tonight. So, Wizard, thanks again for being here. And where can everybody find you if they are unaware of where to find you on the internet?
You can find me at Disneyland. You can find me at Universal every week. And you can find me on Twitter, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And you can go find my book if you want to come and enjoy the park and need some help because it's a little confusing. There's like escalators and stuff. So you can get on Amazon and it may be store near you.
You should have put that in the
Jared.
book. There's escalators and stuff.
Chapter 6, escalators and stuff.
And stuff. Hey Jared, it was funny. I did a show actually not too long ago with Mr. Theme Park Wizard, and I was joking with him saying that I'm gonna also release a book as a vibes guy.
Yeah.
But it'll just be a pamphlet because it'll just be a walk.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a vibes guy, it can't be a long book anyway. You just want to get the feel for the things, You're just like
Chapter 6, the best places to wait when your buddies get on roller coasters.
Honestly though, that's probably some pretty good information. Like where
it is. I mean, it's a good video idea.
Yeah,
for
you just
sure.
know all the little nooks and crannies of where to go. I think that's good information. But
obviously things like best bathrooms. I did a video on best bathrooms. That's very important. Stuff.
That's actually even in Disney World, there's some really nice bathrooms, and there's some I would say avoid. There are some where I'm just like, it's really close to like.
There's certainly some in Disneyland I'd say avoid, like the one by New Orleans Square train station. It's just too tiny and always cramped and smells in there.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Yeah, it takes away the magic, if you will. But before we get into our topics, I want to say hey to the chat here. We have got a lot of you guys here. Thank you for being here on a Friday night. We have The Real Ventures, Ulysses Torres, I believe. We got Brian 8928. What's up, Brian? Kiki and Luca. We got John.
What's up, Kiki?
AI Train. We got Remy D. We got Theme Park Conductor. What's up, Conductor? I think I'm going to be on conductor. I think OG and I are going to be in conductor this weekend, perhaps.
Yep.
So we'll be seeing some of him more. And I actually met him when he came to Florida, and he's just as tall as he looks on video.
Oh yeah, he's massive. He's like literally as tall as a freight train.
He's only an inch taller than me, although just an inch. He is taller.
So you're also a freight train.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'4". I'm like 6'3". So I think we're close. But if I was playing a pro sport, I would say I'm 6'5", though, because you got to give yourself a little extra little inches there. Then we got do what?
I said I wanted to give a shout out to a lot of these people, but like John, for example, this man, if you notice in the chat, he's watching on like mine and someone else's live stream because I can tell from the comments. Shout out to John for supporting multiple and all these people. They're all of our subscribers and always watch all of our things. So shout out.
Absolutely.
Look at
I mean, it
community
only
over
makes
here.
sense to put,
like Real Ventures.
All the live streams on whatever devices you have. It won't cause any chaos or anything, I'm sure.
Like that's pretty awesome. Shout out to you guys.
Absolutely.
Using your bandwidth for us.
You don't have to pay by the bandwidth anymore, but yeah, thank you guys for being here. So all right, let's get into, I think we're going to hit Universal Hollywood first. Now, I don't know a ton about Universal Hollywood. Obviously you guys have a lot of information about Universal Hollywood, and so Wizard is up on the latest on permits and rumors and all sorts of stuff there, especially. So I'll let you take it where you want to take this part of it, Wizard. But what's the first thing you want to hit on about this whole show? Is basically speculation, permits, and things that may be coming to the park.
Well, I want to just let everybody know that if you're not watching OG's channel, he does Disneyland stuff, but he's actually at Universal quite a bit more. He's changing. So we have to tell Josh to take away his special access.
That is true.
Deserve it anymore.
That is true. I was just there yesterday, so it's definitely becoming a problem. Disney is taking me off their special access list for sure.
Yeah. Although I've said many times, you have the Disney adult. I think you have the Universal Bros. You go to Universal, you just slam a protein shake, and you get the vibes in. It's similar but different. It's a different demographic there.
100%.
It's a nice, more chill vibe. I feel like over there. But Disney's great too. And speaking of Universal, look at this. My goodness, I caught this today. So this is my first time ever seeing the thing spin. And that's mostly because of problems and because of me coming after where I work during the day, as you guys know. So it's when I come, you've done testing. And I'm like, dang it, I can't see this thing. So months later, I finally got caught it spinning. As testing increases, thank goodness, there's still a little bit of a problem with it, but they're almost done. But the cool part is, so Universal Vice President John Corfino was riding today, and I caught him on the train. He's the little guy. Let me go right back. Hold on.
Little guy.
There, he's this guy. And he's actually closing his eyes. It's funny. But this guy in the blue, vice president of Universal Creative. And yeah, he was closing his eyes. They're gonna look at him. Poor guy.
I would
Oh,
too
man.
on that coaster, by the way.
I mean, I wouldn't
Absolutely.
even go on it. So good shout out to John. I wonder if he like is required to as vice president.
I know. I don't think they're required because one of the guys that was the main guy on Stardust Racers didn't. He actually doesn't like roller coasters. He did a video and he's like, "I'll never go on it, but I'll help design this whole thing." So like, I don't think they have to. Which is funny. You have somebody designing coasters that doesn't like coasters. I kind of thought that was kind of funny.
That's good because I was always curious. I'm like, man, do they have to ride that? What if they're like terrified? What if they have a cart condition? That's
Right.
crazy. But shout out to John over here. He's a good time in the back row over there. And yeah, so it's spinning, it's moving. They're testing 2 trains today. They switched today. They do the zebra one, and then they test the real cars like the other day. But that's great because as you can see, they've gotten landscaping started. These are all the gravel. The gravel has been poured, and next month you should be able to ride the ride as a soft open. So that's super exciting. And there's a special annual pass holder event May and June that's been noted for like a long time. I've always speculated that could be pass member previews, and it might be. They're coming up. And then we can finally get on to the next thing, which is cool because this thing's been under construction for 3 whole years. Actually, technically, 3 whole years, which is a long time. But and it's finally open, and I will be standing in the spot watching Jared and George and Vash Guy and anyone else besides OG and me on and having a good time on this coaster, and I'll be taking good videos of all of you guys. And I'm super excited because let me tell you, there are so many people with me on this ledge, all with their phones out that weren't like content creators. They're like, wow, that's cool. So I can't believe it. The line's gonna be so long, and it's finally almost open, and it's gonna be great.
Well,
do we know on this ride what the capacity is? Like how many people it moves through it per hour? Or anything?
Okay, let's do some math. So I heard 8 trains, but let's call it 6. 6 trains total. There's going to be 4 running, or 2 on the track at all times, according to Universal themselves. And then probably 2 in the station. It's 16 people per train. So I feel like it could have some pretty good capacity.
Yeah,
because it'll have more trains than like Velocicoaster, but like fewer people. So I feel like they're trying to get that Velocicoaster type capacity. The ride itself, as you see from the video, is about 1 minute and 14 seconds. So it's not the longest thing in the world, but you can keep pumping up those trains pretty quickly if everything works quite nicely. So I feel like it would have like a similar to a Velocicoaster type capacity there. And it's interesting, I didn't catch this, but on another video earlier today, you notice someone in the driver's seat, they're like pressing buttons. So I wonder if there'll be some interactive element for the people in the driver's seat.
I did hear some sort of I don't know if it'd be music or not, but I did hear there may be some sort of interactive element, at least for the Orlando, which I would imagine it's going to be, other than the track is going to be different. I imagine a lot of the other details about this ride will be pretty similar, considering it's like the same ride but just a different one on each coast.
Yeah, it's interesting because there'll be different. There's certainly onboard audio. I wonder. I hope there's different songs each time, but there's onboard audio, but yeah, they're right in the driver's seat that you saw. He's like really pressing a button, so I might be a little bit of an interactive thing, which would be pretty cool.
Well, you know what's interesting? Yeah, you know what's interesting about this, and I've been, like Wizard was saying, I've been going to Universal a lot lately this past year. And it's kind of crazy how, like, even the normies are stopping to watch this thing. Like, there is so much interest, even from non-theme park nerds. This thing is going to put Universal Hollywood on the map, like, big time. I think this coaster is going to be a huge game changer for this park because Universal Hollywood has really never been known for its coasters. We have Mummy, but whatever, right? But this thing is going to make like the Six Flags people go, okay, all right, Universal, what you got? Because this looks absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of interest. I see so many people, right, Wizard, standing by watching this thing. And it's, Jared, I'm telling you, in person, dude, it is amazing. I mean, it's so, the videos and stuff,
especially when it goes over the escalator, that's when like a whole bunch of people just like, oh, I did.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of wild that where they built this on the side of that hill on that escalator. Like, I mean, it's almost like an engineering feat to put a coaster there, and then obviously, like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of in Silver Dollar City. They've got some of these coasters, and you've got the hills and the mountains and the Ozarks, where some of these you go these crests, and it's on the side of a mountain or a hill, and it's like it makes it way more dramatic because you're talking like hundreds of feet down lower. So I can imagine it kind of make it a little bit more thrilling that way. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. The drifting aspect of it is kind of wild.
It's wild. It's really genius. I've mentioned this on other shows before, but not everyone watches every show, so I tend to repeat sometimes. But I think it's genius the way they put it on this hill. Because like Wizard was talking earlier, he was joking about the escalators kind of being a pain in the butt, right? And they are. But they took really the most negative aspect of the park layout and turned it into an asset, which I thought was brilliant. This IP is also very LA, right? I mean, so to have this kind of going around the hillside and you get a great look over the San Fernando Valley kind of adds to that theme. So it's just this was a brilliant decision. Whoever's idea this was, I don't know who at Universal decided to do it like this. Absolute brilliant. I mean, this is perfect for this franchise, for this theme. I think it's absolutely genius, and I think it's going to be massively, massively popular. So we'll see. But I'm excited for it, even though I'm not going to ride it.
Well, you never know. Maybe you get a couple of drinks. You know, maybe the OG rides it your hair would be even higher at that point. I think if you rode this.
Oh, it would be crazy. It'd be Sonic Boom style. You know,
that's true. Crazy. I always think of Guile from Street Fighter, just straight up, just nothing at all there. But
exactly.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, obviously Universal in their press release, they said, sometimes you may be facing a car and sometimes you may not be facing a car. I'm curious if there'll be different motion profiles. I mean, it's a controlled spin, but every single time I've seen it spinning testing, a different car has been in a different position each time. So I wonder if there'll be like a whole bunch of different profiles, which would be super cool. Increase the rewritability plus different songs each song. Maybe like with Guardians of the Galaxy in Florida and here, how there's a different drop sequence for each song. Maybe there'll be a different spin profile for each song. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I will say for Guardians in Orlando, that is something that people have really gravitated towards because like they count like which songs they get and things like that. Like when I ride it, like the first time I rode it, because I'm not a real coaster person. I remember riding it with my daughter because she was freaked out. And my wife was like, what song was playing? I was like, I don't remember. I was just trying to make sure my daughter was good. And I was just like, how long is this coaster? Because I feel like that coaster was like 5 minutes long the first time I rode it. But it is an aspect that I think people do enjoy. And it's kind of, I mean, Rip Ride Rocket had that music aspect to it. And this is going to be a replacement on the East Coast for that. So I think that may be something they brought to the West Coast one as well, which I think is something people enjoy. Like whether you can control it or not, but whether or not it's just music that plays does add a little bit of a different ride, each time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Wizard, I have a question for you. Do we have any idea about the playlist for the music, the songs that might be used on this attraction?
I have no idea. Besides Gasolina, which was like her testing in the queue. That's the only one I can almost confirm because it was her testing in the queue, but that's it. But Alan, there's so many good songs that I'm sure they'll put "See You Again" in there because they blast out at the front entrance every 5 seconds. So I'm sure that's going to be a song.
That's
but
true.
I don't know.
They need to have a Vin Diesel look-alike in the queue is what they need. And when you walk by him, he's always just a "Welcome to the family." And you're like, oh,
yes, Vin Diesel animatronic. And look at this. Look how cool. I mean, these are the zebra cars, but look how cool the seats are. I love how cool they're. Each are different design.
The coaster cars are some of the best I've ever seen, if not the best.
Beautiful.
Those things are insane.
Well, and then also with the lap bar, because you don't have the over the shoulder thing. With that lap bar and you're spinning and facing down, basically, that's going to be intense.
Well, especially because it's a lap, and there's no shoulder restraint. It's just a lap bar, which there was. I mean, we did have some questions after the Stardust Racers incident if Universal might shy away from this, but obviously they're not. And this is a Intamin coaster, which Intamin, I get the feeling Universal just is going to use Intamin for roller coasters going forward because they make really good coasters. So I think that's probably who they'll go with going forward. But yeah, I think I mean a lap bar restraint only on something that kind of spins and goes upside down like this adds a level of thrill to it, undoubtedly.
Let me ask you a question, Jared. You might know this, or Wizard, you might know this. I want to ask you guys a question because I'm not really super knowledgeable on coasters, to be honest with you. So Universal's having some issues with Stardust Racers, and that's I believe from the company called, is it Mach or Mac?
Yeah.
I mean, they say Mach, but I'm American, so I say Mac.
Mac. so the Mac, the Mac coaster builder, right? Is there a way that like Universal can cut ties with Mac and then have Intamin come in and sort of retrofit Stardust in their style? Is that possible? Did they ever do that kind of thing, or are we stuck with Mac?
I mean, anything's possible. But I'd be surprised.
That only time I've heard them something like that happen is usually like with the coaster trains themselves. Like for example, on what coaster was like the coaster in Vegas, the New York coaster. That one was built by this company I think called like Togo or something, but it's out of business. But the Premier company, Premier is another manufacturer. They did Electric Eel at SeaWorld and some other stuff. They came and put their trains on that coaster and gave it a refurbishment. So they put in their trains, but it's the same Togo track. So if anything, maybe they can, if it's a problem, maybe they put Intamin trains on the Stardust Racers in like a few years or something.
Yeah. And Remy D said it usually happens when a coaster manufacturer goes out of business. So although I have heard indications that Universal after the Stardust incident is not really wanting to work with Mac anymore. I have heard that is maybe. I
have heard that too.
And we'll get into that about Orlando, but that I think may impact what they plan to do with Zelda.
Yes, exactly. That's what I help because they want to do that mock boat ride that Dollywood is getting, but they don't really like each other. So
which makes you wonder like what was going on. I mean, I'm wondering if they're not on good terms, that means Universal's not happy about this coaster and the fact that this situation even happened, which is interesting in of itself in many ways. But
it's also
I heard this wasn't the only thing. It was like even before it was getting built, there was still like some problems. Universal wanted faster, so Universal wanted like different. It was just
they've had issues with it valleying, and then I know they put brakes on it because of certain G forces it was hitting. So it's had some issues even from the time it was testing for that ride.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like a Disney or a Universal hasn't made a play for some of these coaster manufacturers, like to buy them out, right?
I wonder what would go into that to do it. But like I remember when I first learned, like I always thought that like the way rides worked was you develop the ride and then you go find something and they custom make it. It's kind of reversed. A lot of times they find these new ride systems and then create a story or a ride around it. Before I just assumed as a kid that's what they did. But yeah, so it's interesting. Like if they did own it, I suppose that the issue there would be there's not enough rides coming up for just you, and do they want to put resources into developing rides for other other theme park destinations and stuff like that, maybe? But because it's something, let's say that Disney owned a coaster manufacturer, Universal uses one, and then something terrible happens. All of a sudden, they're pointing at Disney, being like, "What'd you guys do?" That would be interesting. Little.
That would be really awkward. That would be awkward.
Yeah,
a little awkward.
That's why usually they just form good relationships. Like Disney works with Vekoma a lot, and Universal now works with Intamin a lot, and it seems to work out so far.
Yeah.
To see what happens when they switch up. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Then there's a problem.
SS or TMZ says Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City spins like that too, and it's a really good one. So I know that park because that's where I'm from originally. That ride is insane because so Guardians in this coaster is a controlled spin. This thing goes upside down and stuff, and it is just completely centrifugal force. So that thing can spin like crazy. My wife rode it when it first opened, and she got really bad motion sickness. She was down for like a day and a half. That thing absolutely floored her. And it also is the side of like a mountain. So when you're going over some of these parts, it literally is like 300 feet down on some of that stuff. And you're spinning going upside down. I'm like,
well, the crazy one about that one is you come out of the station and then it just drops. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yes, and actually, if you're a coaster person, Silver City has some really good coasters, like very like high throw coasters that they do for sure. But yeah,
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, that sounds intense because at least with the controlled spin, it's here and there and it's controlled. But you're just spinning like this, dude, and going upside down. That would be crazy.
Well, that was like Curse of the Werewolf in Epic Universe. So I rode that by myself, and apparently on your own, it spins even more. I have no clue where I was the entire time. It was a smooth coaster, but I was spinning so much. I got done and I was like, I don't know what just happened other than doing something for 35 to 45 seconds. But I was just, I was very, very dizzy. I don't get motion sick, but I was like, I had to take a minute when I was done. I was like, oh, and I got off. The guy was like, oh yeah, by yourself, it spins a lot. I'm like, oh, you don't say.
That's wild. That's wild. But yeah, this thing looks fantastic. I'm really happy for Hollywood. I think this is going to be a legendary attraction for this park. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, it could be a really a big thing, and I think some other things they'll do. But what other things are coming Hollywood's way, theme park wizard, that you think might come to fruition?
Well, we got some operational things. We got the Universal Bubble new security hubs, which should debut by Fast and Furious, which is super cool because then it'll be like a little Orlando over here. You just can come out of the park, go eat at City Walk, and then come right back in the park without going through security again, which is fantastic. And your exit route is like about 1,000 feet shorter than you don't have to go all the way around, which is super cool. And then concurrent with that is our first ever Universal Hotel, which will be right at the front of the park and open the year of the Olympics, either before or after them, but the year of the Olympics. And then behind one of our parking structures, we have this big tech services building, which is also important. That's going to be finishing next fall. It's going to be also important because that's going to free up a lot of space for eventual theme park expansion all over the property, because it's going to replace an old tech services building and some other stuff. Or tech service kind of spread out all across the park, so they'll be able to demolish a whole bunch of small stuff for more theme park expansion. And that's done in fall of 2027. Then we got a new permit. Shout it with me. New permit. We got some new permits yesterday for some 2 new mill structures, just some studio stuff, but to go. Again, once those are done, then they can demolish the current mill, which is on the back lot, the lower lot behind Mummy. And then that's when our next big land expansion should happen. And they said we'll hear about that next year. But that's where the Pokemon should go, on the lower lot, right across from Nintendo and right across from Transformers, to open up in maybe 2029. And then we have a potential new film for Kung Fu Panda. Could be, whatchamacallit, transformed into How to Train Your Dragon, potentially, for the DreamWorks Theater, which will be the first time a new film has happened there in 8 years. It's supposed to come out next year.
Wizard,
let me supercharged.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. I'm going to circle back to the Universal Bubble real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Universal Bubble. Now there's more access, right, between City Walk and the park, right?
That's right.
Do you think, because back in my day, back in my day, we had Saddle Ranch, the club, and all that, right? And I know they got rid of that because they had some issues, with people getting a little rowdy. But now that we have the Universal Bubble, is there a chance we might get some nightclubs or different offerings now that we have the bubble? Is there any word on that?
Oh, yes, we should hopefully get some more, some more bars, maybe a couple nightclubs. Now that we have, security, and then later hours in general for City Walk, should be super cool because it's going to be go back to those 2004 days. It'll be super exciting. Plus, with the hotel, people can stay and go and have fun and enjoy some nighttime entertainment. So yeah, hopefully in the next couple of years we'll get some announcements of some more nightlife over there in City Walk.
Well, and one thing too, I really want to bring up is I went to Margaritaville at City Walk for the first time ever, and I was talking to the waiter, and I was like, dude, you guys got the short end of the stick here. because they're like hidden in the back. And
yeah, I know
no
you don't
place
even
in
know
it.
it's there.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like it's a great little spot too. It's really like well themed inside and everything. I'm like, you guys got to like work something out because I mean, like no one knows you're even here, and it's beautiful inside. It's really cool.
It's
That's
really big too.
Orlando City Walk is back there where like Antijitos is and other things.
Mhm.
There's so many people that don't go back there. And you'll just be like, there was a bar back there. I actually didn't even know it was there. There's a karaoke bar back there. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, Rising Star? Is that
yeah,
what it is?
I totally forgot it was even there because we never go back there, which I don't know if they can change that. But okay, question on the hotel. Have they said or have you heard what the theme of the hotel is going to be? Is it going to be like a really high-end type of hotel? I'm assuming.
Oh,
like
yes. Okay, so for the hotel, I'm gonna answer OG's thoughts because at least Margaritaville, luckily, it has its luck may be changed because we have 3 security hubs. For anyone doesn't know, there's one by Frankenstein, which is by the front of the park, and that's coming later. And then we have the Jurassic one, which is the center, right by NBC Sports Grill, the new Mr. Barbecue Korean barbecue, which is going out of business in Vegas. So I hope it still survives to come here. But
I mean that construction wall's been up for a while.
I know I didn't see any movement, so we'll see. It could become like the Insomnia cookies, which has been there for 2 years. I've been waiting for my warm cookies. But the third security hub, and this is the main big ET parking garage plus Curious George, that one is actually right next to Margaritaville. So everyone parking those thousands of cars have to walk by Margaritaville now instead of skipping it. So hopefully that should boost up their business. So their luck, hopefully it's been changed because it's a beautiful spot and they may even have some music sometimes over there. But the hotel in front of the park will be, it'll be what they call it now, a signature hotel. It'll be like a little Grand Helios West, but in my opinion, a little better looking. It has this old Hollywood theme, which matches the Hollywood Boulevard style front of the park. And it's has a dome at the top, and it's like tiered. It'll be 11 stories and 500 rooms, and kind of it'll be like go around the globe. We'll be like hugging the globe. So it looks really cool. I can't wait till the rendering gets officially released for everyone to see.
That's awesome.
This is the first hotel officially that's a Universal hotel in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think a hotel is justified at this point for Hollywood, or is this more for a future, like as they continue to expand it, and then you have the hotel there to kind of service that?
I say both. I say both because the amount of people that have asked me where to stay when they come here, and they say, man, I just wish there was a hotel for me to stay at, was tremendous. It can fill up a hotel by itself, but especially for like summertime and Halloween Horror Nights, so many people would go that have said they'd rather stay at Universal Hotel after Halloween Horror Nights and go Uber somewhere or stay at some weird hotel because we're on the hill, and the other hotels, the Hilton and Sheraton, are constantly sold out. We did a staycation at the Universal Sheraton in a random weekend in like March or something last year. It was completely booked. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And, that's pretty close to the park. This will be even closer. So I think there's definitely demand for a hotel now, but they're certainly building for the future, though, because there's many new lands and rides coming. And hopefully a hotel in people's minds, it'd be like, oh, boy, there's a hotel. We must stay here 2 days, and they can sell an extra ticket, even if they don't need to stay there 2 days.
Well,
So I think it's definitely for the future, but they can definitely do it now too. It will fill up now. I feel like.
Well, and the interesting thing too is that because like you were saying, they're going to add Pokemon. They're going to obviously expand the theme park element, but that's going to take some time, right? But the City Walk stuff is definitely going to be quicker, right? So if they add more nightlife to the City Walk component, then it can kind of justify a nighttime stay at the hotel as well, because you're like, okay, you know what? We'll do the park during the day. The park closes like 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, but then we can do the City Walk thing at night, stay the night, wake up in the morning, do the park again. So that might kind of fill the gap while they kind of expand the theme park. So, I mean, we'll
exactly.
See.
Well, and the Stay and Scream is a nice aspect for Halloween Horror Nights because, like, at least for ours, you get a special rate. You can get in a little earlier, but especially if our event goes on until 2 a.m, and it's nice to have a hotel to go back to and not have to
exactly.
Stuff.
And you're staying Scream. You have to pay for that.
It is, yes. There's an additional thing you can book a package. I'm trying to remember how it works exactly. We did it one year. You book a package that includes it. But yeah, if you're like a hotel guest, you get a certain area. And I think they said this year it starts at 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, if
So
you're a hotel guest, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can say our version
ticket, and then I think the hotel. I'll have to look. I can't remember the specifics. It's been too long.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say yours is too successful with the whatever you guys do. Because our version for a while was free. We were able to buy a general admission 7 p.m. ticket for the general whatever the price was. But if you just showed up at 5:30, you got early access to all the mazes.
Oh wow.
But now we have to pay for it. It's only $20 extra. But still, it's like, man, they got the Orlando thing going over here. But it's only $20 extra. So it's not too bad for the early access ticket. But it was so nice and it was free.
Okay,
and
Wizard.
Not many people knew about it.
Wizard, I want to ask you a question while it's on my mind before I forget. So FanFest last year was a lot of fun. I loved it.
Super fun.
It was fantastic.
Get your
Fantastic.
Tickets, please.
But okay, so here's the thing that we were talking a few months ago. You were saying that like the sales this year haven't been like super solid. Has that picked up? Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, they're still not super solid. So get your tickets, please. But I can tell they're not super solid because that new deal that if you're a platinum pass holder, you can get your FanFest night ticket for only $40 if you get it inside the park. And that's something I guess they did offer it last year. I guess it was $50. But either way, if they had good sales, they wouldn't do that. So get your tickets. Come on. It's so cool.
Do you guys think that's because of there's no Back to the Future? And that was the big headlining thing last year. Now that the Monsters is kind of
maybe, but think about it. The Back to the Future, after the first weekend, it did get more and more crowded, but it still was outside of that. People just hanging out on the back lot. It was really empty, so it still didn't drive enough ticket sales. Not even at the end did we have one sold out night last year, even with all the Back to the Future stuff. And I think they didn't really like that. So, yeah, still the highest wait time for something was like 20 minutes, which is definitely an express pass, which I told people you don't need that. So I hope this year's a little better. I'm super excited, but I hope more people show up.
Yeah, I agree. And everybody watching, if you're in Southern California or in the nearby area, definitely check out FanFest. If you're on the fence, definitely do it because it is a really, really cool event. And I would love to see more of these happen every year. But support the event. I'm telling you right now, Universal is killing. They're absolutely crushing Disney with the after hours events.
Yeah.
And when I don't care who makes a good product. If you're making a good product, I will advocate all day for it, right? Universal's making that good product. Go and support them, and show Disney how it's done. Because the Disney stuff is
because there's so much. Look, the Disney After Dark things are like $160 or whatever. This is like $75, but you get a lot more. So it's half the price. Come on, people.
I do hope they bring that to Orlando. I would love to see the FanFest in Orlando. I don't know if they have plans for it. I don't know if they would do it or not, but I think it makes a lot of sense for them to take kind of the concept of Halloween Horror Nights and just apply it to a different medium and do sort of very similar things. I think that's a really cool idea.
That's what I'm talking about because it was supposed to debut. It was supposed to debut this year in Orlando, but now maybe next year. But if it doesn't do well here, they may get scared. But they should still try in Orlando. Definitely.
I feel like
I've heard 2027. So hopefully it'll at least come to you in 20.
I feel like it would do very well in Orlando.
Obviously
it would include, but man, I think that would go well. I would when I first saw that last year of Back to the Future, I wanted to go so bad because my wife is a nut about Back to the Future, and so I hope they bring that aspect to Orlando. That would be really cool. I know we don't have the back lot. I know it's not the same thing, but it would still be cool to see some of that.
No, it is.
Remy, if you get the after 2 p.m. ticket, then you can get access to the park and a FanFest night. So if there's like a Horror Nights ticket. So it's like the after 2 p.m. Horror Nights ticket, but a FanFest, same thing. You can go to the park at 2 p.m. and then stay all the way till 1:30. That's another thing. That's how I know also it's not doing as well because last year FanFest was open from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. with the early access at 5:30. Now it's open from 7:30 to 1:30 a.m. They cut an hour. with early access. I think still at 5:30. But still see these little things.
Little things. But here, you know what, Jared, you're absolutely right though. I think it's brilliant taking that HHN formula with the mazes and stuff and turning that into a nerd event. I think is absolutely brilliant. And that's why I just encourage everybody, like if you can do it, just go support the event because it is such a cool concept. And it's cool for people who aren't really into the jump scare thing with HHN to be able to do these mazes through a different lens. I think it's really cool. So I don't know.
No, it's a good idea. Now here's the question. Obviously, and we'll talk about this in Orlando as well. So we know Pokemon is coming because Universal even said as much. What is the timeline on Hollywood's Pokemon area compared to Orlando's Pokemon area?
So this is interesting. Pokemon. It all comes back to rain. The thing we don't really get here, rain ruined the whole timeline. So Fast and Furious start bringing in permits. So Fast and Furious walls went up in January 2023, but actual demo didn't happen until June 2023 because they were doing permitting stuff. Yeah, that's that. If you guys remember, way back in the day, they had to put up those speakers on the roof of what was then Animal Actors, and they're projecting roller coaster sounds to make sure they didn't violate any noise ordinance. They're doing that for 6 months because of permitting issues. So that delayed the coaster by 6 months. And then because it was going to open in 2025, now we'll push to 2026. And then they did the demolishing. And then they had a really bad rainy season that year. Things were flooding. So then they can't work when it's heavy rain and mushy mud. So that delayed it over time, right? And so all in all, Fast and Furious was going to open in 2025, and immediately then was the Simpsons was going to close, and Pokemon was going to go there, right there. But now that didn't happen. It's 2026, and the Simpsons is open. Now the Simpsons is going to stay till after the Olympics in 2028, and Pokemon still is coming, but it got moved to the lower lot, and it's supposed to open in 2029. I heard
that's going to be a very similar timeline to Orlando's.
Yeah, so it should open around then because it's supposed to start on the lower lot this year with the demolishing of buildings and stuff, and open up in 2029, maybe 2030, but I think 29 because I heard the lower lot land coming to the lower lot would open in 2029. At the time, I thought it was going to be Dark Universe, which is what I heard was coming to the lower lot, but they had to shift things around, and now it's Pokemon because they want Pokemoney. And I love Pokemon, so it's okay.
Hey, real quick, big shout out to our friend Maybe Cake. She's in the house, but she says Universal are going to be supreme when they get Pokemon. Mickey, who?
I mean, listen, I'm not a Pokemon person, but it is the #1 media franchise in existence. I think Universal, I've said this before, and I guess time will tell. I think Nintendo in the Universal parks will potentially be bigger than the Wizarding Worlds were Universal. I think it could have that much of an impact. I mean, look at the Mario movie, how well that's doing, how big Pokemon is, and putting these things into the parks. It's, I mean, I don't even know, but once you start getting into these anime properties, which I also think Universal is going to start exploring, you're tapping into a whole other demo that neither Disney nor Universal have really tapped into before.
OG can attest. Last FanFest nights, Back to the Future was very popular, but merch-wise, every other person we saw some straw hat from One Piece, and they sold out. And they actually had to move the Back to the Future merch and they pushed that out of the front and put One Piece stuff there, and then they sold out again, and then they're out before the event was over. That's how popular this one. That's why One Piece is getting the big show and the meet and greets and the bar and the restaurant this year. It's like a little One Piece mini land coming.
Well, and that's so. Do you think there's a potential? I did think that was interesting that they're going to do that One Piece show, which seems like it'll be really cool because it fits that property. But do you think this is a test run for something bigger in One Piece, like say in Hollywood, to bring a show or something as on a permanent basis?
I think so because I know the Universal executives are probably looking at that money going like this.
Yep.
Because,
well, do you think there's a chance it replaces Waterworld, or do you think that's untouchable at Hollywood?
I don't know. I feel like it depends if they wanted to give it its own whole land and maybe they include their own show, or if they want to do something small I can see it replacing Water. Oh, it depends if this One Piece thing is a massive hit, this
Right.
show, and it's like lines out the door. Then maybe I can see it replacing Waterworld. But then they may think, oh my god, it's such a big hit. It needs a bigger space in Waterworld, and let's give it its own land somewhere else with another show. So
what? Okay, let me ask you this, Wizard. What if they do both? Or hear me out. Like, what if they have like maybe like the One Piece show there is like a summer event, and then Waterworld's like the rest of the year? Is that even possible with that? With that whole
do that because they do that with Halloween Horror Nights. They do. They have the literally have the Waterworld during the day, and then Halloween Horror Nights at nighttime. They have the Purge show, so they can definitely do like seasonal flip of the shows if they wanted to.
Interesting. I do think that you're going to start seeing some anime stuff, and I'm kind of curious. I'm watching Universal. Like I saw this year where they had more of a One Piece presence, and from what you guys had said about the FanFest, I was like, that makes sense in terms of, oh man, we didn't expect this. Let's broaden it a bit to see if it justifies this bigger part of the event. And if that still does well, that could be all really the research you need to really start maybe thinking about doing a land or a ride, which I will say it's probably a risk because you haven't seen it. Like, I think One Piece is huge. I just don't know where it is mainstream, I guess would be your worry if you're Universal, because they had the same worry, ironically enough, about Zelda. If Zelda had a big enough draw for like general audiences, so I imagine they might have the same sort of hesitation around One Piece. But if you're seeing actual money coming in from this, probably gives you a good indication that the interest is there to at least start doing more with it.
I'll definitely tell you where One Piece do very well. Universal Japan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you think it's also do you think the popularity, because out here in California we have a very diverse population, right? One of the most diverse in the world, really, if not the most, probably. But do you think that plays into the popularity of One Piece with Japanese anime and all that? Do you guys think One Piece would hit as hard in Orlando that might not be as culturally diverse out there? Like, does the location matter, you think, or is it pretty much across the board in your opinion?
That's a good
I feel like the only way to test that is with the Orlando FanFest nights. See this
right. And that's another thing I've said from the get-go. FanFest is a perfect, like, essentially like operating survey that makes you money to see what people like. And I guess now I will say I see a ton of, I would say, teenagers to like early 20s wearing One Piece stuff in the parks all the time. So I think it's kind of gone beyond just, obviously it started more in an Asian market, but I think it's kind of hit. If you look at like the comic book sales of manga and all that stuff like that, and the One Piece show on Netflix, I think it may have been one of those shows that hit a different area or a different stratosphere of it. And it's kind of got more into, I don't know if you'd call it mainstream, but definitely pre-mainstream. And then Theme Park Philosophy says Die Hard. Listen, I agree. I want Nakatomi Plaza.
hey, you know what though? Yeah, hey, we got it. They're building. That's what they're putting in Hollywood Land though. You can't have it in Universal. They're building
totally
that.
Exactly.
They totally should.
But yeah, I think looking at it, someone made a comment. I think the next logical, if it does well here, the next logical step I feel like would do like some summer event, anime summer event, and if that does well, then definitely put a land somewhere or a ride.
I think if you an anime event that tells you pretty good that they're really looking at this, because I mean I guess that's the worry you have of like you have all the manga sales, the show and everything, but does it translate into theme parks? And I guess they would probably want as much reassurance that if we're going to spend millions of dollars doing this, that there is an audience for it. So you know, I could see them being a little hesitant and not to, because probably these execs at Universal, like, they're not watching anime, they're just trying to figure out what is it with this? Do people want it, and trying to feel their way through it?
Yeah, no, 100%. But I respect Universal for at least putting their toe in and trying this stuff out. It's pretty cool to see. You know, it's pretty cool to see some of this stuff. I think the One Piece stuff, I'm really looking forward to what they have to offer for the FanFest. I think it'd be pretty cool. And the Wizard was right though. The One Piece cosplays were like out of control the last year.
Well, and you got to think too, not that this is the reason you do it as a, you know, your main reason, but I do think anime is also the thing that like Disney has no answer for that. I mean, maybe down the line they do, but as of right now, I don't see Disney getting into anime. And so if you do tap into this very successful, like some of these franchises, I don't think there's anything Disney's going to have to counter with that. So it kind of gives you another leg up on your competitor.
Disney should do. Disney, since I know they like their own brands and stuff, they should remember they had that a while ago. They had that Star Wars Visions show. It's kind of like an anime style.
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Wars.
yeah.
They should do something like that. Prop up with Galaxy's Edge. Experiment a little bit. Put some Star Wars Visions in there. Like if that way you can get an anime feel without having to go outside. I know they don't like to go outside their third IP, so you can still kind of do something with that. I know they won't because they're Disney, and I don't know, they're kind of lazy.
Well, and that's a good point.
Zootopia.
Do you remember the Matrix anime stuff they released around like the sequels for the Matrix, where it's like a bunch of those mini anime like little stories about the Matrix?
Mhm.
I've always felt if you had a really solid Star Wars anime show, that could be a way to actually revitalize Star Wars in some way. But I just don't know if Disney has the desire or they even understand to really get into it at this point. But I've always felt that's a different genre. You could take a lot of different things that could strike a chord with just how big anime has gotten.
Yeah, and here's one thing too that I want to bring up. This is why anime will never work at Disney, at least right now. What did Disney do to the Roger Rabbit dark ride in Toontown? They put
they put a trench coat on Jessica Rabbit.
They did. They be handing out a lot of trench coats in the in the anime world.
Something that was fine for 20-something years is a problem now.
Yeah.
Anime. I don't know. They have a lot of exposure in certain sections of anime, so they I don't like that very much at all.
Yeah, and real quick, I just want to say too, Kiki and Luca asked me what happened to Maybe's cool intro on my channel. I still have it. I'm actually on Jared's channel right now, so I can't play it now. But next time I do a live and Maybe's in the chat, I'll play her intro. That's a classic. That's classic OG55 there. The Maybe intro hits hard. It hits hard.
It's not one you use every time. You just drop it, sparingly, and you don't want to overuse it. You gotta.
Exactly. You got to sprinkle it in just here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. John, by the way, apparently it's John Make It Rain, which I like even more.
I can see it now. Make it
rain.
It.
It makes sense in my head now. He said, if we're being honest, 99% of people above 20 have no idea what One Piece is. That's a very good point, and I think that could be the limiting factor of like the mass appeal. But he also had a good point too about Knights of the Old Republic and a Mace Windu movie. I mean, those I agree. I've said for a long time for Star Wars stuff like that would make a lot of sense. But
absolutely,
yeah. So, anything else about Hollywood you want to hit, Wizard?
Let's see. Let's see what we got. What do we got? Let me think. What do we got? Let me think. I think we're okay. I think we got it. I did mention it earlier, but yeah, so the supercharged replacement, there was going to be one, and then there's not going to be one, which is great. It gives me hope that they'll demolish the building. But that kind of ties into the supercharged replacement for Orlando, because I also heard that one went back to the drawing board. So who knows? But I hope there's no supercharged replacement and demolish that for the theme park expansion. But
can I ask you a question, Wizard? Can I ask you a question?
Ask me 10 of them.
I'm gonna ask you 11. Is that okay?
All right, maybe.
There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Here we go. I have a friend. I don't know if he wants to be named, so I won't say his name, but he was telling me like with Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Disney doesn't really have a plan to use them in the parks, and there's a possibility that they might allow Universal to re-up their contract. And why not, right? why not let Universal re-up the contract and send Disney those licensing checks in the meantime? Might as well, right? Are you kind of hearing something similar where like there's a possibility Simpsons might stay around at the Universal Park, at least for the time being?
Well, yeah, I heard that at least in Orlando to be around a bit, and then for here, I've heard it'll be here till 2028, which is like longer than I expected. And then in 2028, still closed, and then all those parts will go to Orlando's version because they need them and ours building is still falling off the hill. So
Oh.
it solves two birds with one stone. We demolish our building that's sinking every time it rains, and then Orlando gets our parts to stay around for a few years, because I guess they did do a contract extension, but maybe just for Orlando, which is what I speculated the first time. So
You can't get more California than the building sinking every time it rains. I mean, come on, how much more Hollywood can you get? This is LA right here, bro. This is perfect.
Well, I can't say I was. Yeah, the whole Simpsons thing. And one thing I've noticed about the more I've learned is that, like, you get told, like, Wizard, people tell him stuff, some people tell me stuff. Stuff constantly changes with Universal. Like, you hear something, and then like weeks later, it'll be like, oh yeah, that's completely off the table. Now we're going this direction. You're like, and then all of a sudden it'll come back. Like, it changes all the time. But one of them about the Simpsons in Orlando was, for the longest time, that was gonna be where Pokemon went. That was almost like just a given. Like, they're gonna announce this anytime. And then all of a sudden you start hearing a little bit different stuff. And I agree. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, in some ways, I never thought Disney would re-up that, but they might have a different philosophy under tomorrow, because one thing I have said, licensing money is some of the easiest money you can make. And if they don't have a plan for it in their parks, which I would argue, I don't really know how the Simpsons fits into the Disney parks other than just a meet and greet maybe you throw up. It actually makes some sense just to let them continue to do it. If you don't have a plan for it, make some money off of it.
I agree, Jared. And one thing too, the merch and the big donuts and all that stuff sells really, really good. So Disney's making a buck off of that. Why not just let them re-up a little bit,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I heard after, remember the long time ago that survey went out about like the Simpsons and Hollywood Studios or some Disney World pass holders got some survey. I heard it wasn't received very well. So I think it was after that they started to re-up the contract. So that's what someone told me.
Makes
sense.
Which
would make sense. But
yeah. Now, if I was Disney, though, if they ever decide to make a Simpsons attraction, I would go kind of a meta route where like you do like a great Simpsons movie ride and have the Simpsons characters like dressed up as classic movie scenes. You know, that would be fun. I think that would be the route they should go, as opposed to doing like what Universal did with like a Springfield verbatim. Kind of go like a little bit more of a Disney Simpsons crossover, James all day really wants us to talk about the Iger panicking.
I can't wait. Before we get to Orlando, let's talk. Is there anything else about Hollywood before we move?
Oh, yes. Hollywood. Then I'm going to use the restroom and I'll be right back.
Okay.
But so when this Pokemon was going to Hollywood, little fun fact, and it was going to replace the Simpsons, apparently it was going to be a flying theater attraction, which I didn't want. So I'm glad they're not doing it. So hopefully we'll get a nice dark ride. But yes, that's it. And I'll be right back.
All right.
And I can't wait to hear about Bob Iger's 6 showers and his amazing book coming.
All right. So I did a video on this earlier. I am very curious about. I was actually going to see if you want to do a video, but I remembered we're doing the live stream, and then I was like, I'll just do the video now. We'll talk about it at some point. But for those that don't know, apparently Bob Iger and Disney are really going out of their way to try and prevent a book from being released that is by Robbie Whelan, which, if you don't know who he is the guy that wrote the piece. It was in the Wall Street Journal about all the stuff that went on between Iger and Chapek. And apparently the rumor is that Chapek might be a source on this book, which is really interesting. And it's some other people. And Bob Iger, one of the quotes was, non-approved media narratives is what this book is. What are your thoughts? Because they also hired this I can't remember the guy's name, but a very high-powered attorney that took down Gawker. He's been an attorney for like Donald Trump and all these people. What are your thoughts on this whole situation yet again with Bob Iger?
Oh my gosh. Here's the thing. I love Disney with all my heart, and I don't want anything to hurt the company I love, right? But I have a feeling this is more damaging to Bob Iger than it is to Disney, likely.
Yes.
And so, I don't know. I kind of want to hear the tea. I really do. I kind of want to hear the tea and see what happened with these two guys. I really, really do.
I want this book so bad. I told you, I texted you, I'm like, if this book comes out, we're just doing a live stream and we're just reading it live and just reacting. Because I can only imagine if they're reacting this way, what is in that book? Because there's got to be, and the interesting thing is, Chapek has an NDA. I'm sure he is not allowed to say anything, so it wouldn't be officially from Chapek. But if he is a source on this, I mean, I can only imagine the stuff that we have heard, but then some of the things that we haven't heard about what went on, I imagine it would just be probably made.
And someone said Bob Chapek was one of the people that may have.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, they said Chapek and other disgruntled ex-employees that had an axe to grind.
I'm gonna buy that. I'll be first on Amazon.
Oh,
Click.
I will get the audiobook and just play snippets of it from the.
I mean, that's going to be crazy. That will be. And here's the thing, too. And here's the thing. To play a little devil's advocate, and to be fair, I'm sure any company where you dive into the behind the scenes stuff, I'm sure all these
100%.
Yeah, they're all cutthroat, you know, in this industry. But that in particular, because that whole Chapek thing was so weird, like weird, you know. And I just want to know what was going on. What was Iger's mindset during that whole thing, and what was Chapek thinking? I don't know.
Well, I also want to know, and they said in the snippet too about getting into the details about Iger stepping away right before COVID. I want to know what Bob knew and how did he know it, and what was how did that whole thing go where he just came in the office one day and went, "I'm retiring." Why, Bob? Like, I don't know. I'm just going to retire.
Oh my!
I don't know anything that's coming. I just think it's time for me to step away. And then apparently he's also writing a book that he wants to release about navigating through crises. And I'm like, you walked away before the crisis. Like, what? Like, this might be like, I'm gonna write a book on how to fight a fire, but when the fire breaks out, I'm leaving. I was like, what are you, like, what are we doing?
Okay, Jared, remember at the top of the show I said I'm gonna make because Wizard has a book, I'm gonna do a vibes guide book, but it'll be a pamphlet because it's just eat, walk around, and drink, right?
Right.
Bob Iger's book on crisis navigation would also be a pamphlet because it would basically say quit a month before your successor starts, and you can avoid the whole situation. There you go.
Take 3 pounds a day and come back 2 years later and don't change anything. That's kind of what that's the whole book right there.
And then you know, he left again right before the other crisis of the the AI thing, and then something else that bad week. I was like, woo wee.
Yeah.
Poor Josh. That was his first week.
Well, and the layoffs too.
Yeah, and the layoffs.
Which, I mean, it is interesting. You get into this, like, apparently Disney, they said it isn't directly, like, this lawyer's working for Disney. So Disney has a vested interest in trying to prevent this. I don't know if they're actually trying to prevent the book from coming out, but I feel like that's their angle here of kind of intimidating them. So Disney's putting forward resources to protect Bob Iger. I agree with you that I feel like this would be hurting Iger more than anything.
Right.
But I suppose Disney has a vested interest in not having their, 20-year CEO be all of a sudden, as soon as he leaves, like taken, dragged through the mud, I guess. But that is interesting that now DeMauro is paying for the defense of Bob Iger so his legacy isn't tarnished, which I don't know how much this is actually going to work anyways.
Well, James All Day here asked a great question. Can Iger even stop the book from being released? I mean, I guess legally, I'm sure Disney and Bob have great lawyers, and there's some legal way, around this thing for them. They can stop the book somehow legally.
I don't think they could stop it. I think the only way they could do it is intimidate the publisher to not release it. And I think I think it's Harper House or something that's supposed to release this book. And I think that's the strategy there for this, because my thinking is, okay, let's say that they're claiming whatever's in, but by the way, they're not claiming that this book has lies in it. That was never in any of their verbiage. So if you're claiming there's lies in this, then you would assume then you could sue for, whatever. I don't know. There's libel, I think, is when it's written. I'm trying to remember exactly how that is.
I think so. Yeah. Libel's written. I think slander is verbal, right?
I agree. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So technically, if there's lies in there, you could sue them. But that's not even what they're claiming. They're not claiming this book is full of lies. They're just claiming that this author has an axe to grind against Bob Iger. That's it.
Well, the fact that they're working so hard tells you how true it really is.
Exactly. And that's why I want this book.
I'm very curious. Because I think we even have some audio from Chapek in regard to this.
Apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be.
There we go.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Dude, Vash played that the other night and I lost it because he did it like an opportune time.
I love it. That is classic Bob right there.
It's his signature moment. Not necessarily a good signature moment, maybe it's a signature moment. But
I want to know how Bob Chapek is behind the scenes. I would love to like have dinner at his house with his family and just kind of know the real Bob.
Please.
Dude, he's probably a boring nice guy. I get that impression about Chapek. He's probably just kind of like at a party and like just kind of he probably likes to tinker with toys or who knows. He probably has hobbies like building ships and bottles. He just kind of hangs out. But yeah, he just thought he was gonna get the CEO. Like, oh, this is really cool. Then Bob Iger's like, I hate that guy. Just like,
I also have a feeling that Chapek is like, if you were to like run into him like at like a family party or something, like he is such a boomer and he would do like all these dad jokes and stuff. Like I just had that vibe.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Whereas what's funny about that, I could actually see Chapek being more sort of like interpersonally talking. Versus, I think if Iger went to a party and it wasn't in his, as you say, OG, they were not in his tax bracket, he'd just be in the corner just looking on his phone like, I'm around a bunch of these brokies and I don't like it. Please, someone come pick me up from this place.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Iger gives off a vibe, man. He does, because I actually saw him at the D23 in 2019 at the studio panel, right? And he was like just feet away from me. He was talking to Chapek though, and Chapek's wife. So I didn't approach. I didn't want to interrupt. That was weird. but you can kind of feel the like Iger is not an approachable guy, man. Like you can feel the energy from him. He's very, you know.
Yeah. He's got, listen, anybody that has very, very white sneakers, I always feel like gives off an approach of like, don't come talk to me. Don't dirty my sneakers. I paid $1.
Those sneakers are probably more than a car payment. I'm saying that.
Probably
are.
He probably just has a closet full of just white sneakers and cardigan sweaters, and he just sits there. He's like, "Which one today?" And he just talks to himself for a few minutes before he does that. But no, that whole thing is very interesting. And they didn't have a release date on it, but yeah, it's a very interesting thing that I hope the book comes out, and then what fireworks would erupt from that would be very, very interesting, especially I had some juicy stuff in there. But
yeah, and James, you didn't spam at all. Actually, I've been dying to talk about this book thing like all day, so I'm glad you.
I was actually, when I saw your second comment, I was like, I'll bring it up to OG like whenever we transition. But yeah, I didn't know it was good timing there. But Giant Pan Adventure says, I need a book on Iger's sneaker game. I mean, he could write a book on the sneakers. I mean, How to Keep Your Sneakers White by Bob Iger. You know,
and a book on his cardigans.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you got one for cardigans, you got one for shoes, you got one for, you know, I don't know, how to take multiple showers in a day and not give up your office. There's all sorts of things to do on a book.
They probably have like one of his cardigans in like a shadow box in Burbank somewhere hanging on the wall.
What is that Notre Dame when they walk through the tunnel? They always kiss it before they go through the tunnel. Just employees are like, hey Bob, do it for Bob.
I love it.
I wonder what tomorrow's will end up being. Is he going to be like? Is it the quarter zip? Is that his thing?
Oh, for sure. The Patagonia quarter zip. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like he used to be like a J. Crew model or something. He looks like the type of dude that like you'd look through some catalog in the 80s and you're like, oh, that's Josh Tomorrow modeling Acosta shoes or what, you know, whatever those things are. But yeah.
Absolutely. That's
all right. Let's move on to talk about some Universal Orlando.
Now, wait, Jared, I had a question for you.
Yo, go for it.
Because you said you also heard something about Hollywood. What'd you hear?
All I heard on Hollywood, a lot of stuff you had said. So I did hear that Pokemon was coming there. I just hadn't heard the timeline. Because I had assumed it would be Orlando first, but from what you were saying, the timeline, those things might line up kind of close to each other, which is interesting because you would assume they would stagger them a bit. But yeah, the whole Pokemon stuff, like until they actually start doing it and announce it, I'm the same way with Zelda. I'm just like they're gonna do it. I'm just not convinced 100% until they actually break ground that it's happening, because Universal just changes their mind all the time. But see, Giant Pain Adventures, that reminds me of that scene from the first Avengers movie where they had Captain America's suit in a shadow box. Apparently Bob Iger also said apparently they use this as in that article about what Avenger would he want to be, and he said he wanted to be Thor when he was brought back to defeat the evil Thanos. And you're like like you're not even trying to cover up your feelings about Bob Chapek.
well, and then in the Infinity Defense, remember when they dropped the Thanos, like the new look he had, the King Thanos look?
Yeah.
And he had like the same hair and beard as Chapek.
He
I
kinda
know,
looks a
that
little
was
bit like
funny.
Chapek.
He did.
Iger's like, no, make it after him. Make it look a lot like Bob. They're like, all right, make Thanos look like Bob Chapek.
It's like
Bob
when
has-
Katzenberg. It's like when Katzenberg modeled Shrek after Michael Eisner. You know.
Yes, yeah, no, very much so. Which is funny that's now on Disney Plus.
That's wild to me.
The whole
Everything
movie-
comes like full circle, I guess.
Yeah, that whole movie is a meta thing on the Disney Princess verse, and here it is on Disney Plus. But all right, let's talk about Universal Orlando, about some of the things that we're looking there. So do you know anything? And we've talked about this on this channel before. The Mystery Land project that is going on near Epic Universe. For those that don't know, you've got about I can't remember the square footage. It's to the left of Epic Universe.
90 acres.
90, that's right, 90 acres. They're land clearing. They're doing some. Universal said that we're just preparing the land for something, which is not a lie, probably, because they are, but they're not really. They're kind of being coy. Have you heard anything concrete about what that might end up being?
Boy, I don't know. I've heard everything from transportation hub to hotel to kids park to hotel to City Walk hotel and transportation hub together. So I feel like it's one of those things. Probably a City Walk or a transportation hub and hotel. Definitely a hotel and a mix of something.
See, I think it could be a hotel mixed with a transportation hub, because you do have, they're going to do the tunnel apparently from Epic to City Walk, but also you do have that Brightline station that they still need to build. I suppose you could do it there. And also that is the closest location to the convention center, which is a major convention center.
Yeah,
so to me,
definitely gonna be a hotel. I feel like a hotel part of it. I feel like the best thing would be like a City Walk and hotel and transportation center.
They could. I mean, it's a lot of land. I don't think it's going to be a
somewhat.
theme park, though. I don't think at this point you would be anywhere close to doing another theme park right after you built Epic.
Yeah, but some people, like, if you did like a transportation hub, right? And hotel and stuff, or even some parking garages there too, then you already have your future parking garages. So if you ever want to build the other park by Epic on the current surface parking lot, you already have your replacement parking right here down the street. So maybe they can do something like that.
True. I think they do a parking garage. I have heard they are going to do that. They're going to, because right now, like that area, I kind of get the idea from what I've heard. They have an idea they want to do another theme park in the future, but it might be to the right of Epic. And then I guess maybe City Walk could go in between the two, kind of like what you have in Orlando City Walk, where you kind of go to both parks. But it's just interesting because it just all of a sudden popped up. And I think the chances, if I were to, I'd say like a 60% chance you're probably looking at least a hotel and then maybe have the transportation hub stuff in there as well. Because you got to put that somewhere. And to me, that makes the most sense to put a transportation hub in that area when you're already near the convention center and you're not really near Epic. I feel like that's a good spot to put that and not closer to Epic. But it's interesting.
Well, let me ask you a question, you guys. What do you think? Because they're building the old time Hollywood hotel here in Hollywood. If they're going to build a hotel on that plot of land, is it possible? And I don't really know Universal's like hotel game, but is it possible they build a version of that hotel over there on that property, or is that unusual for Universal to kind of do something like that, where they have two of the same?
I feel like with Epic, I guess that would be the question. They could, but do they keep the cosmic vibe of everything around Epic? Because everything's celestial. Like even the Terra Luna and Stella Nova, it's like a celestial theme. Helios has that as well. I guess the question would be, whatever their future plans are the hotels going to reflect the Epic overall theme and stuff like that? I would assume it makes sense for Hollywood to do old Hollywood. You're in Hollywood. You got a lot of that stuff there. To me, if you're going to do an old Hollywood hotel, I would put it closer to the original Universal Studios Orlando and not necessarily Epic Universe. But
that makes sense.
Potentially. I would love to see that type of hotel, though. I think that I've wanted that forever for Tower of Terror, like a 1920s, 30s era of Hollywood, that type of old school hotel. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I do have one more thing for Hollywood. Okay. According to someone, only one person, but they work there, so who knows? But on the current Fast and Furious staging plot, which is you have the Frankenstein parking garage, which is on Lancashire, which a lot of you don't know what that is, but just bear with me. You have the actually, I'll pull them on Google Maps. But you have the Frankenstein parking garage there, and then there's a little lot next to it, and then that is where whatchamacallit, the Fast and Furious thing is right now. But someone told me that when they're done, they're going to use that lot for hotel number 2. And they said they want hotels 1 and 2 to be concurrent with each other so they can both open up in 2028. That one would be more of like an Aventura type of hotel. Oops, dang it. Stupid Google. Okay, where's satellite? Okay, here we go. And so let me show you. Let me show you guys, you East Coasters. Okay, here we go. Okay, so coasters in this dirt plot. This little lot right here this is the Frankenstein parking garage, and you see Super Silly Funland is built on top of the parking garage, and then right now this is used for team member parking. But they said the idea is to use this plot of land, which was already approved for a hotel like a long time ago, but they switch locations all the time. They want to build the Value Hotel or Aventura style hotel, maybe right over here, and then just use the bottom half of this parking garage as the hotel's parking. That was a new one for me, because it was supposed to go over here, where we call this the H lot. This is where 2 Halloween Horror Nights houses reside usually, and just be more of like a Cabana Bay style thing over here. But now apparently it's switched to over here, and apparently it'll be under construction this year with the other one. So
wow,
we'll see.
Jeez.
I mean, that's gutsy though. I mean, because this, like you brought up earlier, Jared, like, does this park, can it justify a hotel? But to build 2 of them,
I guess that answers that question if they're going for that.
That one would also be 500 rooms. So with 1,000 total rooms, Universal owned rooms. So.
Well, now, okay, Wizard, I want to ask you this. What does the Hilton and the Marriott think about all this? Because they're right there.
Yes, for the longest time, the Hilton and was fighting Universal over it, but they lost.
They lost. Okay.
Luckily.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, the Hilton.
If you ever go in those hotels, especially the Sheraton, it's so dingy and old. Those residences are much better.
Well, I had a buddy, a friend of mine, Rob White. He was out here in California for like a week or 2 or something like that, and we actually spent the day at Universal. The Hilton over there, the stairwell is actually the stairwell from Back to the Future Part 2 when Marty was going down the stairwell, and we went in there. Yeah, and it's cool. We went in there, and like the arrow on the wall and everything is still the same. Like it hasn't been touched. It's all there. Yeah, it was really, really cool. So the Hilton right across from Universal has it, and it was pretty dope, man. We checked it out. We took pictures in front of it and everything. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Brian brings an interesting point here talking about Orlando. Universal is a wizard in school for magical children near Topgolf. Where that is, there's literally on that west side there. If you're looking at Epic, you have a Topgolf, Mario Andretti Racing School, and Lockheed Martin has a facility there. Which, listen, if you want to build a golf-themed hotel that includes Topgolf as something you could do there, I'm in. That sounds like a really good time, personally speaking, but I don't know if they do that. And John, Make It Rain. Actually, at the end of this, he was saying you guys should make a video about your collections. At the end of this stream, I can show you guys some of my stuff. I don't have like a ton, but I did get the Yoshi popcorn bucket and a couple other things here that are kind of cool. But let's see. Theme Park Philosophy says, imagine if they build a dedicated park at the Orlando Resort for a semi-annual Halloween Horror Nights. I've actually heard rumblings of something along that, which I don't know. Again, Universal changes all the time, but I have heard rumblings about some like the Horror Unleashed concept, maybe even coming to Orlando, which I don't know about that. That seems weird.
Well, it does. And I've been hearing, and Wizard, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but I've been hearing that hasn't really been doing so hot. They're giving the tickets away, right?
Yeah, they have such a big discount on them. I did have a friend that was there over last weekend, and he said it was super busy. So at least that's good. So maybe they're doing better with those discounted tickets. But yeah, I mean, they still got Chicago to come in next year. So we'll have to see. I mean, I did hear some about Horror Unleashed maybe going over that plot too. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And I've had questions about. It makes more sense to me to make a haunted house, like a Horror Unleashed, sort of partial for the year, but a year-round haunted house. Like again, January, February, March. Like, where is the demand for haunted houses then? I always had questions about that, but maybe they're figuring this out as they go. But
why wouldn't they do? I still don't understand why in the off season they don't do nerdy mazes like a FanFest style.
100%.
They should.
I wonder the same thing about like opening up the restaurants where you can at least go in and eat and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, they should make the center free, and then you pay for the mazes, not pay to get inside the whole thing.
Yeah, make some money on the food stuff. I mean, they'll probably tweak it if it's not doing well. I would imagine they might tweak some of the stuff there to do that. But all right, before we let's move back. Talk about Orlando here. Yes. So Lost Continent, there's some interesting things there. Some of the construction walls have gone up. I did see on Twitter, someone took a picture. Somebody was filming something in front of Poseidon's Fury. It kind of looked like Mark Woodbury, which would probably be a pretty good indication that
some guy with gray hair. So I'm probably him.
Some stud with gray hair. If it's Mark Woodbury, he's a stud. I love Mark Woodbury. Oh, yeah. But I think every indication I've heard is that Pokemon is coming in here. Have you heard? Now, I've heard rough timelines, but have you heard a timeline that makes sense of like when this will? It's probably going to start sometime soon, but like when the opening of this might be for whenever this land gets done.
I would say I've heard. Okay, so the demo will start soon. The build, some of the original permits expire in 2027. So I feel like this could be like a 2028, 2029 edition to that park.
I always put about a 3-year build timeline on lands and stuff for Universal. They just build quickly. Now, is this something like 2 rides in here probably?
I feel like, probably like one big one, one small one.
That's kind of restaurant. Yeah. I also was told, apparently, because my question I had at the time was, Lost Continent's already been shrunk because the Wizarding World ate into it. But I was told they may go deeper back to have some more room there to make it a little, because there's some backstage areas that a lot of stuff was moved to Epic, so they do have room there. But my question has always been just, it's not a big area. But if they're going to go deeper in there, I guess you could do 2 rides. But I also did hear Mythos is going to change over to something, which was very disappointing to hear. But I was told that the staff and all that, apparently the food.
Now, did you hear a changeover or full demo? Because I heard full demo. But
I you did? See, I just heard a changeover. But if
I hear May 20th is the last day for everything, and then full demo of the land. But who knows?
Okay, here's the thing, because that
and also as due to the space, I think they're going to go deeper because one of the permits had reconfiguring of backstage roads and stuff to make more space. So I think that will go deeper.
Okay, a couple things about the Mythos things. I've never been there, but number one, that's really sad to hear that, because the building where the rock work.
Oh, it's gorgeous, especially in person. I was like, wow, I have so much B-roll of it. I'm like, let me get as much B-roll as I can before this thing goes away. So
I mean, that's
the waterfall and the guy's face, little god's face, whatever's going on there.
Yeah, that looks really cool. It looks super sick. I mean, the menu, you can put the menu anywhere. I mean, you can put the food anywhere. But to lose that, oh man, the rock work and all that. It's so cool.
It's kind of like you're eating in a cave when you're in there. It's really interesting, the concept of it. And like, the food's amazing. But I suppose it makes me wonder if they're going to utilize, like, if the restaurant coming back, if they do demo that, I don't think they put the restaurant where Mythos currently is. I kind of feel
it's probably somewhere else. There's probably a whole.
I feel like what they would do is move the walking path toward Mythos and then open up a little bit more space on that right.
Yeah, that makes sense. That way, people get a nice view of the water, and then you have more contiguous space together.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have like I'm not really versed in the Pokemon lore. Do we have a cave Pokemon that we can utilize in this space?
I think there is. Isn't it like this? I think there's like a. God, I haven't played Pokemon since Nintendo DS when I was like a boy. But I think there's like, you go in a cave and then there's like, I'd find a wild Pokemon as like a rock or something. Forgot the
I mean,
name, but I'm never good with the names. But I think there's definitely some cave Pokemon.
I'm gonna look up on AI because I have no idea either. But I'm gonna ask it if there is a Pokemon related to a cave. See what it kicks back. Because I agree. I think that could be really cool, like to keep it. But if it is a space thing, actually, it would make sense to do that. It says some classic cave Pokemon include Zubat, Geodude,
Zubat, that's the guy.
Diglett, Sableye. I don't even know some of these names. Apparently, there is caves. So if they wanted to go that route,
I know only two of those, but yeah, Zigglet and Zubat. I always
So we
wanted
can
to go Zubat.
We can have Zubak's Diner. There we go. Problem solved.
Pikachu burgers all day long. But, yeah, no, I think like I was thinking the same thing on the timeline there about you're probably looking. I was told it'd be a couple of years, and that I was actually initially they were planning on doing the demolition earlier, but I think they've been trying to work out. It seems like they're still just sort of like wishy-washy on what they want to do on this, but I think Pokemon would be massive. If they put it on both coasts. I think if you're talking for Hollywood, you got the Fast and Furious coaster and Pokemon coming in there. I mean, and that would probably justify 2 hotels to do that. Zubat's the ugliest Pokemon.
It really is quite ugly, I must say.
That is hilarious. And I just want to say real quick.
Thing. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to give a big shout to Mr. Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
20 months. 20
months, Mr. Seymour Duck. I want to thank you so much, brother. I'm actually going to be recording with Seymour on Sunday. So look out for that video very, very soon about the Disney layoffs, the recent Disney layoffs. So everybody check that out.
And but yeah, one thing I do hope, fingers crossed, because I know Japan's getting their Pokemon, and I assume it'll open soon. But and then you're getting yours, and we're getting ours. I do hope they're all different, because that'd be quite nice to have different rides, different locations. Because Pokemon, they have so many locations, like Nintendo, they have so many locations. And biomes. So to have like 3 totally different Pokemon lands will be pretty awesome. So I hope they go through with that.
Yeah. And Theme Park Philosophy says, OG Jared and I are going to be all over those Pokeballs when the gates open. Absolutely. I will be caught up on the lore and try and catch
those Pokeballs are going to sell out like hotcakes.
Oh gosh, the merch alone would probably pay for that land. I mean, if you really think about it, it's kind of crazy what it may do.
Yeah, as long as you guys stay away from my Pokeballs, I'll be fine.
The Mastermind Live said, Jared, did you hear that Sesame Street in Universal Studios Japan might become Hagrid's? Similar size and footprint too. I did not. I haven't heard. I actually don't keep up too much on the international ones, but I mean, Sesame Street changing that for Hagrid's is probably a pretty good trade. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard because it is a similar. Someone mapped it out. It's pretty close, and there's Sesame Street's next to Hogsmeade, so that'd be pretty cool. But it'll make me even more jealous that I don't have the best ride ever right here in my backyard. I really enjoy Hagrid's.
Hagrid's is such a good ride.
I finally got it for the first time. After the first time the line was too long and they ran out of time. But this time with our express pass, we skipped a 3-hour wait and made it 20 minutes, and it was incredible. I was like, again, I came out shouting again.
It is a good one. Okay, here's a question. Epic Universe, we know that there's going to be the Ministry of Magic's and expansion. We know about that. There's a second permit out there, and they really haven't hit too much. Have you heard Super Nintendo related or Dark Universe related?
I've heard half and half, but
I've heard the exact same thing.
I'm more inclined to believe Dark Universe only because with the mock Zelda thing. So I feel like I don't know. Maybe it was Nintendo. Maybe the Universal's half and half on their own. But I think Dark Universe is more likely only because, but then they can make it Zelda, and I'm sure Intamin can make a same.
I would assume
product like the Dollywood thing. So they all make the variations of the same stuff. So I'm gonna say Dark Universe, but it could easily be Zelda too. But I feel like Zelda's been going back for so long, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like if you look at like Super Nintendo World, have you been to Epic yet, Wizard?
Yes, and it was incredible.
Like Super Nintendo World is the most packed land in that entire park. It is constantly full. So you can make a justification that even though you do need stuff in Dark Universe, you probably need more stuff in Super Nintendo World just to have enough supply for all the demand. So to me, it makes sense to do it, but I'm just really curious because I know at one point they were very wishy-washy on the overall demand for Zelda, and Zelda seems like this thing that like they're all. It's almost like when you're gonna ask a girl out and you're like, I'm gonna do it, and it goes to do it, and you're like, I can't do it. Like they just can't quite get themselves to commit to doing it. Every time it's close, they kind of just get second thoughts. That seems to me what's been going on with like Zelda for probably almost like 7 years now.
Yeah,
I think
that.
so, and especially because the new movie's coming out next year. I feel like that will. I wonder. Do you think maybe they want to wait and see how it does?
See, I'm wondering if that does play a role with it because they're not making it. It's Sony.
Yeah.
If that movie's huge, I imagine maybe that gives them a little bit more. Like that would probably get a whole bunch more people into Zelda, and that might give them more of a justification. Be like, okay, that's kind of mainstream now to do it. So that could be a thing they're actually waiting on to see how those movies do. But yeah, I mean, I think even without the movies, Zelda would still be popular because I don't think they're going to do the live action version. Probably do it off of Nintendo, the video game version. But it is interesting that you keep hearing stuff, then all of a sudden it changes. It's kind of the last second.
I don't know why they didn't. And the initial rumor was Zelda was going to go into the Lost Continent, and that would have been perfect because then you could have kept Mythos, and that looks like a very Zelda.
Yes, I agree.
Aesthetic. You know,
Well, and I wonder what changed because Pokemon was going to go into Simpsons, which is a bigger area. So I'm really curious as to why they decided to go this route. Because, like, when I
think it's because let's see. Okay, so I think it's obviously something happened with Zelda. I'm okay. So Epic Universe opened. Maybe that's it. Because before Epic Universe opened, Super Nintendo World was over the Kids Zone area. Then they needed something for Epic Universe. How to Train Your Dragon was potentially going to go on the Lost Continent, but they need something for Epic Universe. So maybe Zelda, they're like, oh boy. Yeah, let's do Lost Continent. But wait, we have this big expansion plan, Epic Universe. We might need it because it might be so popular. So let's give it land there, and then they probably wishy-washy, and then they're like, oh boy, Pokemon, we need Pokemon now, but oh boy, the Simpsons, what do we do with this? Disney doesn't want it. Wait, I don't know. Does this really work out? Let's just put it in Lost Continent. There's nothing there, and we're closing it. Rip Ride Rocket, which needs to be closed now for Universal Studios Florida. We can't have Florida have 2 rides down. So okay, let's put one over here. I think the whole, like big chess piece switching,
it makes
constant switching is going around.
You've got nothing in the Lost Continent. I mean, nothing other than Mythos and some rest. There's literally it's a walkthrough area.
Lost Continent is the prettiest land to ever exist to have nothing in it.
I agree. Well, and I love like that type of mythology. Like I love like all that stuff. I think it's cool, but obviously they're not going to keep it. But I think that makes some sense. Conductor said, I see Mythos as not just a relatable IP restaurant for Zelda, but I also thought it's a restaurant you would probably see at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. It's a good point. I agree with that. Very, very Vegas-y. Okay, have you heard anything on Supercharged replacement? I know you talked about Hollywood.
Yeah, I've heard. For yours, I've heard it went from Back to the Future to the Night Bus to nothing. That's what I heard.
So
and for Hollywood, it went from How to Train Your Dragon to something to nothing. And,
Interesting.
Now they're both at nothing, which I think is great for Hollywood's. I don't really care about yours. Sorry, but
I mean, I appreciate the honesty. That's funny.
It's hard though because, like, I don't know. Like, do you really? What would people, especially in Orlando, Hollywood? I guess they can get away with it, unfortunately, but because it's part of the studio tour. In Orlando, I mean, how disappointing would people be? I mean, I certainly would be if they just re-theme it and then it's just another screen ride, even though it's a re-themed one. So normal people, casuals, like, oh boy, it's another screen ride. I thought Universal went away from this, and so I think maybe that's why they're struggling. I think they should just demolish it, expand Diagon Alley. It's right next to it.
Well, I've always thought because like it is not a lot of space there to do much with, and also you just have it's this very small sliver of San Francisco there. I've always felt like, I guess on my tongue. Sorry about that. I always felt like it would make sense to just get. Jose and I talked about this on a live stream months ago. get rid of this whole like San Francisco area, this area, because it kind of pigeonholes you in what you can do. I could see them expand, just eating into take Diagon Alley, expand it out, and just you're already doubling down onto a franchise that's already successful for you, and adding, because you only have one ride in Diagon Alley, so actually, because you could have another ride that you can put.
And since it's not a small, like a big space, that'd be perfect for like kind of like a smaller dark ride or filler ride that can take the pressure off a Green Guts.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think people want like talking about a dark ride that maybe like a boat ride or something like that.
Yeah,
they do really cool stuff with it. So, I mean, again, they'll have nothing for now, but they've already announced that something's going to happen with Supercharged. I feel like they kind of have pigeonholed themselves. They're like, they got to do something with it at some point.
This is so funny. And I remember on March 10th, 2024, or is it 2025? But anyway, whenever Supercharged closed in Hollywood, that press release said a new announcement will be, or something will be announced soon. And Universal soon. I started to really hate that word soon because Universal, Disney, and now friends of mine have told me something's coming soon, and yet it's been months, days, weeks, and years. So I don't like the word soon. I think soon is nothing. So it's just hilarious that they said they're so ready, and then nothing's happening, which is great for Hollywood. I think.
I do have some breaking news for you, Wizard. I do have some breaking news for you. Disney is saying that Pandora is going to open soon.
Pandora is going to break ground soon.
Very soon.
Like Josh Morrow saying like, we got shovels in the dirt when they announced this at D23. I'm like, did you just go out and put a shovel in? I mean, technically, were you lying? Like that whole thing, I was like, that's not even remotely true, but okay.
Well, and here's the thing too, and not to get too far off the beaten path here, but this is the issue, and this is what kind of scares me about the Pandora thing too. It's the D23 element of it. Lucasfilm, they announce all this stuff, and then they end up canceling this stuff years later, right?
Yep.
And no one believes the Lucasfilm announcements.
What do you mean?
Now.
Rogue Squadron's still coming out.
Any day now. I think it's coming out February 31st. Actually.
The Ryan Johnson trilogy is still happening. What are you talking about?
It's still an act. It's still an act. They just had a meeting last week, guys.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, it'll happen. But the thing is like people have tuned out of the Star Wars announcements because no one believes any of it. It'll be canceled in 6 months because of creative differences, like it always is.
Yep.
So
and then partially when it, I was gonna say when they do the stuff that does come out, it's not good, which is sucks.
Yeah.
So it's either canceled and then it comes out and it's not good.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so here's the thing, and maybe he's right. I've been waiting for this. I've been ready. No, but then this is the thing. This is why. When you announce stuff at D23, but then you cancel the stuff 2 or 3 years later, you lose credibility, and fans are going to tune you out like they do Lucasfilm, where they're not going to believe the announcements.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. If it's not confirmed and you don't know you're going to do it, Disney, do not announce it. But see, Josh used it as a political tool to work his way up the CEO succession ladder, and that's the issue. These announcements,
and Bob, same thing. He came back in 2022, right? It was the first earnings call. What do you say? An Avatar destination is coming to California Adventure to get his stock price up or whatever. 4 years later, and we're still waiting on this Avatar destination. Not even like a whole land. They keep still calling it a destination. And if it's something that small, it could have been done by now. But I mean, look at this. And then for a while, we kept saying, we'll hear about it. His next earnings call, he said, we'll hear about it soon. Soon.
That's your favorite word, isn't it, Wizard? You love soon, huh?
Soon. And
we're like still your wife trying to get you to do something. You're like, I'll do it soon. I'll get to it. You're like, it can mean now. It could mean, a couple of weeks, months.
And only now do we just get our first demo permits for it. But Monsters Inc. is going to stay open until 2027. So nothing will be demolished until at least 2027. So very soon. I mean, maybe like it's like saying I'm gonna have a kid soon. Could be now, could be in 4 years.
Yeah,
but pretty soon.
Yeah,
soon. No, that's the frustrating thing about it, because you're right. I was like, oh wow, the permits, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, but the ride ain't closing for another year, so it could still be Zootopia.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, if you look at where Pandora is, or not Pandora, Avatar is, and apparently there's rumors that they're trying to get the budgets down for these future movies because the box office, like they're still making money, but it's definitely diminishing in terms of its box office. That that might be an indication already that like, what would a Pandora land really have as a draw in like 10 years or 15 years? Like, is it just gonna be something you're gonna have to redo at some point anyways? Whereas I do think, I don't like them like the Zootopia franchise, but the Zootopia franchise, obviously they're gonna do more movies. And it has lasting power, I think, beyond what Avatar.
Here's my counter argument here, and I love Zootopia. Actually, I was hoping for it long ago to have Zootopia come to California Metro when it was like coming to open in Shanghai. I was like, oh wow, that should come over here. That's so cool. But then I saw the ride, and I'm like, oh, we have that already. Or we're getting that with the Mickey and Minis, which is why. Tangent. I hope we don't get Zootopia here simply because I know Disney won't make a unique ride because we don't need Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway 2 over here. California Adventure is better than that. The land looks great, but I'm really worried about the ride. Separately, if whatchamacallit, Zootopia is, Avatar would be looking amazing. If they do the land like they do in Florida, it would be looking amazing. And like Cars Land, where there's not really any movies coming out, it still looks great and super packed because it looks good and it's a well executed land. So I feel like the same would be for Pandora. If it's a well executed land like it is in Florida, people would flock to it no matter if there's movies or not coming out. With Zootopia, if it looks like it does, which actually looks pretty good, but it doesn't look as good, in my opinion, as Avatar. I haven't seen any of them in person, but just based on photos, I feel like that has more of a chance of like dying out faster, in the future than like a Pandora Land would, which it could, if it's high quality, could be like Cars Land and have staying power forever,
You're not wrong. Pandora I think it is it probably is the best newer land that Disney has done. I think it's a great land, but if you look at the attendance for Animal Kingdom, it definitely is not an attendance draw like it used to be because they were actually number 2 behind Magic Kingdom in 2019. And then since then, you've seen like, I think 30 some odd % drop off in attendance at Animal Kingdom. So if it's a great land, undoubtedly, I don't think the IP matters as much. But given how IP heavy Disney is, I feel like they're going to weigh the IP very heavily.
Yeah.
On
and if they do, if they switch it up, I pray, Josh, give us a better ride, or a different ride. Not saying Zootopia is a bad ride. We just have it in the other park right across the way. So it'd be just a waste of a distraction, I think.
One thing that I'm worried about too, and then we'll get back to Universal real quick. One thing that I'm worried about too is it gives Disney permission to kick the can a little further. They love the delays.
Yeah, like that Tomorrowland art that's still.
Yeah, the Tomorrowland art that's been switched out like 3 times because 7-year-old
soon.
Yeah, soon, exactly, soon.
Yeah. Not a movie trailer. They're coming soon. Be like, no, I was never to come out. We do have a 5 here from Remy D.
Yeah,
thank you, Remy D. 8767. Any guesses as what's going to replace Fear Factor at Universal Studios Hollywood? 6 years just sitting there. I would love to know. I haven't heard a thing about that.
Remember when the Harry Potter was going to replace that, but the ride sucked, so they stopped it?
Well, there was that, and originally Super Nintendo World was going to go there. Or at least they thought about it. They had proposed it. And again, with all the things with Universal, it's like
it switched 6 times and then it ended up somewhere else.
I know, and that's why like people tell me like I'm really always hesitant to even say stuff because I'm like it's all going to change. I'm going to look like an idiot if I go out.
And then people say you're wrong.
Yeah,
but I'm like I don't know. Promise you, I wasn't.
I keep thinking they're going to do something with that because the only thing they use it for is Halloween Horror Nights. They use it for the whole stunt, or not stunt show, but the show they do. Is it a different show in Hollywood than it is in Orlando, or is it the same type of show?
Yes, we have the Purge Dangerous. Lots of gushing fake blood.
Yeah.
Oh God. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Yeah, so they use it for Halloween Horror Nights, but like that, you could do something else with it 9 months out of the year. It just sits there right now. So I keep thinking they'll do something with it because it's a big piece of real estate that just sits there. The only thing we ever used it for was when my kids were little, and that was a great nap spot. I'd take them in the stroller into there and just rock them, and they'd go to sleep, and I'd just chill out there for 30, 45 minutes. Other than that, I see other parents doing that, but it just doesn't. It's not used outside of Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know. That's a really good question. I would love to know the answer. Oh, I took off. What the one you highlighted there? OG?
Seymour Duck, Luigi Mansion. I was at Universal yesterday, and I went on the Mario Kart ride, which I do like the Mario Kart ride. I know a lot of people don't like it.
I do.
I like it.
It's
I
fun.
just don't like the going up and down the stairs to get there, but I like it. When I
the line is
I don't like the pre-shows either, but if I do single rider, I love that thing.
Yeah, the queue is brutal, man. We waited like 2 hours in that thing yesterday.
Woo-wee.
But one part of that attraction, you kind of go through that haunted hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
And very Luigi Mansion vibes. So I think that'd be pretty cool. I hope Mr. Seymour Duck. I mean, that was a rumor, wasn't it, for a while?
It was going out there about Zelda or Luigi's Mansion. And then what I was told or heard was that Zelda had beat out Luigi's Mansion for the time being, but they may still do it. But that's the other thing, too. I don't know where that stands. And I think Luigi's Mansion would be great. Like, I wouldn't be upset with Luigi's Mansion or Zelda. But if you also look at Epic with the Zelda stuff and the windows and stuff and in the gift shop there, I do think Zelda is coming to Epic Universe at some point. I guess it's just a win, would be my guess. But again, who really knows?
Well, and I also heard, I don't know if it's true or not, and Seymour and anybody in the chat or you gentlemen, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard something that they're working on a Luigi's Mansion movie.
I did see that the other day on Twitter.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
So that might be our way in.
I mean, they're doing that's probably next after that. They're cranking them out, which is pretty cool.
I mean, if this movie is going to make $1 billion, I imagine they're going to do any variation of Mario and Nintendo that's just going to make money. And so I think it's definitely possible.
Right. Just give me a Super Smash Bros. Movie already. Come on, man.
I do wonder if they build toward that. I actually think out of the Mario movie, we may end up seeing a Star Fox game because that's a big part of it, or even maybe a Star Fox movie. I know people have been asking for that for a long time, but
I like Star Fox. I didn't even know anything about the guy until I saw the movie, but I liked him when I saw it.
I played that game so much. That was one of the ones on 64. I used to play that game all the time. It was a hard game. You got to some of those levels, like it was tough.
Yeah, that was a cool game, bro. I love that. And actually, the Zelda game for Super Nintendo was really, really good too.
Yeah. Oh, just like Giant Peter said, is like when I saw the Star Fox's scenes, I was thinking, oh my god, this could be Universal's version of Space Mountain. I was like, wow, this cool little coaster, an indoor space coaster. I was like, that'd be sick. Also, a long time ago, this guy, Mastermind Live, made a comment about what happened to the DC talks. Well, I heard only from like one person, but the person's usually pretty okay, pretty right. They said that only in Orlando, they said they heard a potential rumor. Let me know what you think about this of a Joker Halloween Horror Nights house. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh man,
that's crazy. I remember you texted me that, bro, and that sounds insane.
Well, you and I did a video on that. Remember that right whenever the Warner Brothers stuff was really picking up, and we kind of were like Comcast wasn't going to get it, and Bloomberg had that article about Warner Brothers was exploring the DC rights and talking to Comcast directly.
Right.
And I haven't heard anything since that article. Like I've been looking around, didn't see anything about it. That's another thing. If they get DC into those parks,
oh my god,
they are setting themselves up for a very strong 10-20 year run here if they're able to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Between the HHM possibilities, a fully realized Gotham City, dude, you can do so much.
If you had a Gotham City like scare zone that led up into a Joker, like the what do they call that thing? Arkham Asylum. Oh man, there's so much cool stuff you could do with that. That would probably be the most popular house they've ever done, potentially, if they did something like that.
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Remy said, if you haven't seen Super Mario Galaxy, close your ears. They actually promoted Star Fox in their promo material, so that's not a spoiler.
They did,
yeah. There's a poster about him.
Yeah, they leaked it, I think, because it was going to get leaked out beforehand, and I think that's why they came out with it. But yeah, that one's known there. But he played a bigger role in the movie than I thought he was going to.
Me too. I was like, oh wow, look at him.
Yeah,
and he's kind of funny, that guy.
Yeah,
you laugh.
No, it was
Glenn Powell.
But I'm trying to think anything else in Orlando. I mean, that I say anything else. There are all this stuff going on. Yeah, the big things I just have questions around. What do they do with Supercharged? I think the Fast and Furious coaster probably opens 2027. I'm guessing in the spring would be my guess.
Yeah, I'd say if I were to guess, I'd actually guess around May.
Yeah, well, either way before the summer. Yeah, like right around the summer. Yeah, that might make some sense there. Yeah, anything else you want to add about Orlando?
Orlando. Let me think. Orlando. Yeah, brand new park. No, just kidding.
I was like, what?
Just drop that in there, just real subtly.
I don't know, but I do know they need one more park and one more water park so they can have the same amount of stuff as Disney World.
I've speculated they could bring that kids resort concept down to Orlando.
That could be cool because then they can sell another ticket as a park hopper.
And
Little kids to the other park.
Yep.
Yeah, and I actually did a video with Mr. Webba on his channel. Webba, we love our Webba. But Webba and I were talking about how SeaWorld right now is getting sued by the owner of Sesame Street because they've been misusing their IP. If SeaWorld loses the rights to Sesame Street, Universal should swoop in and put that in their kids park. That would 100%. Be chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of that, I know it's a very long shot in Dream World, but I'm going to keep saying it. Actually, it was OG's idea first. I don't know if you saw, Jared, there's a report that Six Flags, specifically Magic Mountain, I guess their land value is like $533 million less than anticipated or something. I was like, man, that's pretty terrible. I mean, maybe good, but terrible. So maybe one day.
Maybe Travis Kelce can save it because he's now their big ambassador.
And if he can't, come on, Six Flags, make a little deal. Sell it to Comcast and let's make an Islands of Adventure West over in Valencia, shall we? Come on.
Oh, we shall.
I agree. And John, make it rain. Even a Batman Cars ride would be cool, dude. You give me if I can sit in the Batmobile, game over. I'll never leave.
Actually, John, it's not a Batman car ride. It's a car attraction. No, I'm actually just playing. I'm playing with John because he's been questioning on the channel. We call it attraction.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Listen, John, I'm lucky to get words out at this point. So if I get them wrong, attraction ride, they can be interchangeable there a little bit. But well, before we head out of here,
I just like how theme parks use the word attraction to like up the count. Like they'll be like, oh my gosh, we have 60 rides and attractions, and they're like a splash pad attraction. That's one.
Oh, for sure, undoubtedly. Before we go, I will show off a little bit. This Yoshi popcorn bucket is pretty sweet, I will say.
Dude.
Wow, hold on, that's huge.
It is kind of big, and it kind of goes deep back there.
Wow, that's crazy.
I can stick kind of my hand in here.
I mean,
I'm inside Yoshi.
That's such a fun way to eat popcorn while you're watching Yoshi.
It was $50 though, I will say. Apparently these sold out. Like in a lot of places.
Yoshi, spoilers, semi-spoiler. It didn't say like a lot of words. I don't know if he ever says words.
Really?
But it's just so funny that Donald Glover like voiced him because
I know
he said like Yoshi. That's like
that to me, this is funny.
Like AI.
This is exactly. That is to me the funniest thing, and such a waste of like you're paying Donald Glover to barely even say anything. It's so weird.
Apparently, he just wanted to be in a Nintendo movie, and he was like, "I'll be Yoshi." Apparently, that's how that went. I don't imagine they gave him much money for just saying Yoshi like 5 times in the movie. But I will say the coolest thing that I have back here is this Soundwave. It's the
that's pretty dope.
It's the Lego. He transforms, and he has little sound effects.
Sick.
That's
cool. That's very cool.
Soundwave is the best. I won't listen to Soundwave slander.
Well, now, okay. Do you guys remember, Wizard? I don't know if you remember the big Hulk that we used to have in Avengers Campus.
Oh yes, for like a day.
And they couldn't figure this thing out, right? It was like they couldn't figure out the mechanics of it and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, somehow Universal figures out Transformers and Big Raptor.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I saw I saw Optimus and Bumblebee out yesterday at Universal, and they're smooth as butter, baby. They're out there just like doing their thing, and Disney cannot do a big fig to save their life. What is going on?
Also, I really
they probably
wish
try to make it too complicated. I'm sure that's what they did.
I wish our Megatron roasted people like your guys' Megatron does, because some of those clips you get out of that are hilarious. But
and back in the day when Lunar New Year was over here, they celebrated Megatron would speak Mandarin, and it would be hilarious.
Yeah. Now, real quick, I don't have any. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. I don't have K-pop dolls, but actually, this right here, my Captain Rex right here, you can see with my orange highlighter, is actually from our good friend in the chat, maybe Cakes. So that was courtesy of Maybe. I love Rex. I think he is an absolute rock star. I'm so glad they found him a new home at Oga's Cantina because he was literally the best part of Star Tours, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And fun fact, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of merch, but I somehow have one thing that you guys have. On OG side, I have a lovely Grogu next to me over here, like he has in the back, and then on Jared's side, I have the Mario Kart popcorn bucket. So see.
Oh, nice. That is. I will say most of my stuff. I do have the Bumblebee popcorn bucket.
Oh, nice.
That thing is pretty sweet.
My newest piece is they have. I think you guys have this in Orlando.
Oh
too,
yeah. I do want to get that. I haven't got it yet.
Because this is something I wish they do at Universal and Disney, more park specific merch like this. Like this is so cool. Like
yeah, I agree.
I agree. Disneyland, if they did the Disneyland thing like this, I'd buy it in a second.
Yeah.
Now I do have a Groot as well, but he has a little orange tree on top because it's OG.
Oh, nice.
So little
I love it.
Nice. Before he gets out of here, Theme Park Conductor said he's got to go. So we'll say, hey, Theme Park Conductor, and OG and I are going to be on his conductor live stream on Sunday.
Let's go. And you know what? Maybe if he allows, I'll be on there too.
Maybe if you send him enough shekels, maybe he'll let you get on. You never know. I don't know what his rate is anymore.
I'll pull out the credit card. Come on.
I'll
Venmo you.
The most obscure thing, I still don't know why they did this. So they had in Orlando, this is Grimlock, which you guys probably don't know who Grimlock is unless you're into Transformers. It is the most obscure popcorn bucket I've ever seen them do. But I'm trying to remember, the mouth opens up. And then there is a laser. Where's the button at? He lights up. But it technically is a popcorn bucket. I'm trying to remember where the light is on this thing. Is it up here? No, maybe the batteries. I think my son ran the batteries down. The eyes light up and it's got a laser. But like I remember I walked through the gift shop and they had it and I was like, Grimlock? And then like they had a ton of them. Like anybody knows who Grimlock is, but that was one that I still wish they do an Optimus and like a Megatron one, but they haven't done it yet. I don't know why.
Now maybe here says that I don't have enough time to grab all the K-pop Funko and photo cards under his bed. That's another video. Yeah, that's true. That is another video. Actually, yeah, I actually do have one right here. I got Jenny from Blackpink. You can kind of see her right here behind my road, Caster. And I got the whole crew. I got Jisoo, Lisa, all of them. But yeah, no, she's right. It's all under my bed. That'll be another video. It'll be a 3-hour live stream.
He tells him good night every night when he goes to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have the Tony Stark Infinity Gun.
Like
most of it is Lego, and it's usually Marvel or Transformers for the most part. But my wife did get the Walt statue they had. That's the same one that they have on the partner or the statue where you can meet him at Epcot. It's like the same thing there, but it's kind of cool. But yeah, I can't get my Optimus out because the Optimus falls apart when I bring him. So he sits up there, but if I pull him out, he just falls apart. And I don't feel like crying over having to rebuild that this week. Yeah, so no, there's a lot. I'm trying to get more stuff, but yeah, it's been slowly adding up. I did get the
Uh-oh. Did he freeze? I think he froze.
Maybe
Is he frozen?
Maybe he became a toy.
Uh-oh. We lost Jared. Jared, where are you?
And that's our stream, folks.
Oh no. Hey, we're gonna have to man the ship, Wizard. We're gonna have to be co-host for a little bit.
All right, guys, let's do an Ask Me Anything. Do you
Ask
think
Wizard
there'll be a
anything.
Transformers movie?
Oh, here, John has a question. Here. Do you
Yeah.
think they'll make another Transformers movie? Probably. Didn't those movies do really well? I thought they all made like $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yep. And Giant Peter.
Frozen position is hilarious.
Yeah, they captured the magic. Yeah, they got him.
They
okay.
captured the magic.
His internet glitched. He said he just texted me. So I don't know. I mean, we were gonna kind of wrap it up anyway, but
Yeah.
But let me go. Oh, here he is. He's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My internet glitched. It went black, and I was like, "That's not good."
No worries.
You guys still have it on your end?
No, you're good. You're good.
No, yeah, you're all right.
All right. Well, it's probably a good place to end this, anyways. It's midnight here because my daughter has dance weekend, and I got to go to dance recitals all weekend long. So they start
Get
very
your
early.
energy for that. That was
my
those long days.
My sister, when we were kids, she was a ballerina, and she actually did it professionally for a little while. But dude, I had to sit through so many ballet recitals, and I'm not going to give you my opinion on ballet because I don't want to get canceled like Timothy Chalamet. but I think you know where we're going with this, right?
Yeah, I love watching my daughter dance. When it comes to the other kids, I'm like, I don't really care. Like, oh, they're nice, but she loves doing it. It's a fun thing that she does, and I'm glad she likes it. So I got to go. But I will say, when the other kids are dancing, I watch YouTube live streams or something. I got something entertaining me in between because it can get kind of it's not my thing, I guess you could say per se.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
Before we go, Real Venture says, "What's your favorite ride at Epic?" I would say Battle of the Ministry, and then a close second is probably the Monsters for me.
Yeah,
I love the Monsters, and then I like Hiccups Wing Gliders, and then I like Donkey Kong, and then I like Ministry.
Dude, Hiccups Wing Gliders is a fantastic coaster. Like if they did one of those, like it's like a Slinky Dog Dash, but better. It's one of my favorite rides. It really is good. And maybe Cake says only if Megan Fox is available for Transformers.
Absolutely.
I mean,
OG, of course. We need.
Yeah, we love Megan Fox. She's great.
She's a little crazy, but I guess the crazy hot scale comes into play.
Well, it's okay. Yeah, Paramount does the Transformers movies, and Ellison said he's all about hiring canceled people and people that are not liked. So there you go. For Megan Fox, bring her back, man.
There you go. I mean, if Disney hired her, they'd give her a trench coat. So it's probably better if
Universal's like, no, we're not giving her. She's all out. We're no trench coats here. But all right. Well, I think we're going to end this. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Before we go, though, give a roll call here in case you guys didn't know where you can find these lovely gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here on a Friday night. OG, thank you again for being here. Where can everybody find you on the interwebs?
Yes, you can find me right here on the YouTubes, talking shop with these fine gentlemen all the time, and talking theme parks, talking studio, talking corporate side, all that good stuff. Sometimes we even dive into crazy stuff like the Egyptian pyramids and all that, like, really like deep kind of. Yeah. We got to do a space video soon, Jared.
We got to do a video on what to do when your toilet breaks on the Artemis 2.
Good question. It's a good question.
That's good. Yeah,
I've been trying to do one ever since they found the Sphinx under the Sphinx. I was like, what is this? I need.
Yes, we got to do a Sphinx video, dude. I was so mad today though because I was told on X, all the news outlets were saying, "Yeah, California, you're gonna have a sonic boom." I'm like, "Oh, cool." I set my phone up to record like my window to see like the rattle and all that. Man, it splashed down, no boom. No sonic boom.
Did you see the splashdown though?
I did. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. But like, man, I remember as a kid that we would always get the sonic booms out here in Southern California when they had the shuttle program.
Oh,
yeah.
But, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch the launch. I wish I would have, but the next one I'm definitely going to see because that stuff is fascinating to me. I love it. But all right, Mr. Theme Park Wizard, thank you again for being here, bringing your knowledge and your insights and your permits and all the things you got here. Where can everybody find you on YouTube and everywhere else online?
You can find me on Theme Park Wizard on X, Twitter. Oh, it's the same thing. Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, Blue Sky, and that's it. And then you can go buy my book on Amazon if you're coming to the park to ride Hollywood Drift and you need some help. Jared, you need some help, don't you? Yeah. Go buy the book.
I can learn how to read first, but once I do, I'll go get That's awesome. Yeah, go check out his channel. Go check out the book. And go subscribe to these guys. On my end, all this stuff will be in the description. Go subscribe to those guys. Go check them out. And then real quick before we go, TCS411 says, "Do you guys see Project Hail Mary?" I did, and it's really good.
I loved it. I thought on IMAX it was great.
Yeah, it was a very refreshing movie. All of a sudden, it was like very original, good story. Wasn't a lot of times you get in those space movies like that, it can be kind of almost like depressing, and it was actually like inspirational. It was funny.
Hopeful. Yeah,
Yeah, very heartfelt. I loved it.
And
My
the little
wife loved it
Rocky
too.
guy. I like the little Rockies.
Dude, Rocky's the best. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Rocky meet and greet. Come on.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my scroll.
She's like, the movies I shall watch have.
OG scroll goes all the way to Jared's house. That's
It
how
does.
long
It might. I do really wish we bring back scrolls, and like I would love one of these days. I'm gonna get a courier pigeon and send it your guys' way and see how long it takes, and then I'll get this pigeon that shows up with a little mini scroll.
You're talking about a guy who loves K-pop yet hasn't seen K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, and I love K-pop. I mean, it's
How
crazy.
have you not seen it with your love of K-pop? You would love. It's actually, honestly, it's actually a pretty good movie. My daughter got really into it. It's actually pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Hey, I was surprised when Jay Shear said it was his favorite movie of the year. Like, no joke. I was like, dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
You know. So
no, it was one of those like my wife and my daughter were watching, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I saw and I kept seeing snippets of it. And then one time I was just hanging out with my daughter, and so she put it on, and it actually was pretty good. Like I'm like, it was entertaining. The music was actually pretty good. I was like, "This is
maybe you have to see it too."
Yeah, and maybe it's a big K-pop fan, and she hasn't seen it either. That's wild.
Turn on Netflix right now, maybe, and then see it, and then call OG and have a little review together because you guys didn't watch it right now.
The music's really good.
It's only an hour and a half or something.
It's not that long of a movie. It is pretty catchy. TCS says also we loved it too. Do they think they make a sequel? I don't know. It's based on a book. I don't know if they had any more books about it or not. But it does end where it'd be interesting to see what happens with him after all of that. But I mean, I forget the author. I can't remember his name now. But everything I've heard, like he also wrote The Martian, so he's got definitely a niche of like these space movies. But one thing I am going to rewatch is, you guys ever seen Interstellar?
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Love it. But apparently, and I can see how this is going to happen, is once you have a kid and especially a daughter, my buddy was like, it breaks you. Like you live at the, and I was thinking about the movie. I'm like, I'm not a crier, but I'm like, I'm going to bawl my eyes out. Oh, that, because I was like, if you have a daughter, it just, it softens you. Like it just makes you different. And I'm just like, I'll probably cry when I watch it. So apparently I'm going to rewatch that soon, but
well,
Andy Weir. That's right. Andy Weir wrote the book. Thank you, Remy D.
Interstellar is one of those movies where I love movies that grab your imagination and get you thinking. Yeah. And that movie trips me out. Like how time is different. Dude, it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind.
And like just imagining you did something and all of a sudden you've missed 20 years of life. Like that's the part where I'm just like, oh my gosh. Especially like if you're a dad and like you've missed your kid. I'm like, geez, like that's just
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about though. It's basically time travel when they do that.
Well, it's like you were saying, if you looked at if a further galaxy saw Earth, they would be seeing Rome. Isn't that what you said? That thing you sent me?
Yeah, it was because it takes so long for light to travel, and if it's like 50 million light years away, by the time it got to us, it would be the past. That's crazy. It wouldn't even be current. Like a lot of the stars in the sky are not even there anymore.
I know.
It just took so long for the light to get to us. You know what I'm saying?
That when I actually sit there and think about it, it trips me out. Like I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. Like, yeah, it's like it's same thing with like black holes. Like it's talking about Interstellar. It's like that stuff gets real trippy on some of that stuff. But well,
supposedly, like in a few billion years, the Andromeda galaxy and the Milky Way, they're going to collide, I guess.
Make a super galaxy.
And make a super galaxy, and the two black holes. I mean, I'm curious how the two black holes, how that whole thing works.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Just like the theories of it and everything like that. But
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But well, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Everybody have a great Friday evening. What's left of it. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys very soon. Thank you guys in the chat for hanging out. Oh, before we go, we did have Kiki and Luca had 5 gifted memberships to OG55.
Thank you, Kiki and Luca.
Yeah, Mr. Seymour Duck, 20-month member. And then Remy D had her 5. So thank you guys for the super chats and the gifted memberships and for just hanging out. So appreciate you guys. And we will catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.
Bye.